Welcome to the 2026 AFL Premiership season on ABC Sport. On radio, on digital, and ABC Listen.
You take a seat, 'cause it don't get better than this.
Saturday afternoon footy, the traditional time slot here on ABC Sport, and a genuine blockbuster at the MCG. The 13-7 Demons as they continue their push for a top four spot. Who'd have thought that at the start of the year? They've lost only once here at the G, up against the Dockers, who have a club record 18 wins in the season. Can they bring their form to the place in which the grand final is staged? Against a top contender, it is Fremantle on the road up against the D's. If you're just a neutral footy fan, it doesn't get too much better than this. And if you're a Fremantle or Melbourne fan, it is edge of your seat kind of stuff. The Dockers make their way through the banner first. They're out there all in their white today with the purple accent and the purple chevrons. There is no late change here at the MCG for Melbourne and Fremantle. My name's Corbin Middlemass. Ben Cameron's here with me for the call. Hello, Ben.
Hello, Corbin. A real pleasure to be here at a cathedral to football, the cradle of football where the grand final will be played.
The theatre of the great and the grand, as Greg Baum once dubbed it.
All of those things. And it is a full dress rehearsal for the Fremantle Dockers. So if they plan to be back here for the last Saturday in September, from the start of the week through to game time, it should have been an exact replica. And we'll ask both Rammer and Borley how important a win here today is for them. I know that some people have said that Fremantle have already locked up the minor premiership. Not quite. A win today would absolutely ratify their second minor premiership in the club's history, going with 2015. So there's a bit in today.
Absolutely, there is. Milestone too for Jake Waterman. So Jake Waterman, for Jake Lever. Shout out to him. I caught Jake Waterman playing here last week. And now I'm thrown. Jake Lever has a milestone today. His 150th game as a Melbourne footballer after starting his career, of course, with the Crows. Our premiership pair in the second row, Luke Ball stuck around from AFL Saturday alongside the youngest Essendon premiership player on all of planet Earth. Adam Ramanauskas is in the house. Hello, Ram.
Yes, good afternoon. It is packed outside, so I'm expecting this to probably be the biggest ever Melbourne Fremantle crowd, particularly here at the MCG. So there's lines and queues everywhere getting into all the gates, so which is exciting, I think, for the D's fans. But more importantly, as you mentioned, Ben, if it is a full dress rehearsal for the Dockers today, they need crowd, they need noise, they need a bit of energy within this game. So, look, well, we can't ask for much more. I think we've got match of the round. I think we'd all agree with that one. So Saturday afternoon here at the MCG, I'm just excited for this one. I really am. I'm excited to see Fremantle. We watch them so often on TV, but I'm excited to see if Melbourne is their MCG form true, coming up against one of the best teams, or if not the best team in the competition.
So Melbourne 9-1 here at the MCG this season, and trying to solidify that top six position as well.
It is the annual BCNA game as well, the Breast Cancer Network Australia game. So there's always a pink link to that, as there is today as well. So Melbourne out there on the ground first. They're in their traditional jumper, the navy blue with the red chevron, the navy shorts, and the pink socks. So they got the pink socks on today, and you'll see pink beanies scattered right around the MCG, which raises money for a sensational cause, and one in which obviously has touched so many lives of so many Australians. Where everyone feels like they've got a connection in some way to this game. Luke Ball's here, the man who's held just about every single role in footy. Hello, Bally.
Corby, yeah, it's a great cause, and plenty of pink beanies and pink socks, as you said. There's a few that have run with the pink boots too. Is it Bailey Fritz? Yeah, that a few that are going all out. So another great example of things that clubs do so well and the impact they can have. So, yeah, Ram, I agree. Match of the round. Well, I think we can say that now after last night's fizz, probably on paper. Last night looked the match of the round, but we heard Sam Mitchell talk about going up to Brisbane and testing themselves against the best, and they failed that test. So Melbourne get an opportunity today to come back to their home ground and test themselves against the undisputed number one seed at the moment, Corby.
Who's it more urgent for today?
Melbourne, I think. It's a good point. Fremantle, a rare opportunity to play on the ground where they hope to hold up the silverware in 6 or so weeks' time. So they'll want to play well. They want to get used to the ground. And hopefully the crowd builds, Rammer, as you said, and we get up towards, say, 40,000. So an opportunity for them, no doubt. But I think Melbourne I think no one had them where they are right now, clearly at the start of the year, but I love the noises coming out of Stephen King. That was the start of the year. Where we are now is with a significant opportunity ahead of us, and I thought they were terrific last week under pressure against a Gold Coast team that are desperate for a win. They were able to steady in that third quarter and go on and win that. So for me, it's the Demons an opportunity, as I said, to test themselves against the best and see how they stack up. Do they have to win? Maybe not necessarily, but they want to equip themselves pretty well and have a nice tune-up for, as I said, for a final series that no one had them penciled in for at the start of the year.
They get Dan Turner back, who's had a big sensational year, the 24-year-old key back.
As is Chandler. Sorry, you about to say.
And Chandler returns as well. So from that hand injury missed last week, they lose Cross and they lose Blake Howes. So Howes, for me, feels like that kind of guy's had a sneaky good year, and you don't realise how much you miss him until he's gone.
Well, and I was just going to mention, I spoke to an assistant coach during the week, and we're talking about when you're playing teams really close to the build-up to the final series, what you're effectively doing is going, okay, what's our number one matchup that we want for a particular player? Then what's our matchup 2 and 3 if it turns a little bit pear-shaped? So, so Fremantle, where they're sitting on the ladder, they may experiment a little bit with a couple of different matchups. Maybe it's for Van Rooyen, maybe it's a Jefferson, maybe it's a Cozzy Pickett who they run with him. Whereas on the flip side of that, with the Blake Howes not being there, he's been so steady for him all year in that Melbourne backline. It just tightens it up a little bit. Your number one now is most likely going to have to play on a Treacy the whole game, or a Voss or a Jai Amos the whole game. So you want to experiment enough without flirting.
Tom McDonald coming up against Oscar McDonald today. I want to just chat about Oscar. So Tom's obviously retiring at season's end. The brothers get a chance to go at it. It's an incredible football journey that started at Melbourne in 2015, actually against the Dockers. So he debuted the same day as Ed Langdon. So both guys who have some shared heritage, having played for both Melbourne and Fremantle. They play against each other today in opposite jumpers than what they originally debuted against one another at Subiaco Oval way back in 2015. But his journey since then, he went to Carlton, played only 5 games, Oscar McDonald. Then 2023, played for Williamstown.
Yep.
So he spent a year out of the system and then has come back in to join Fremantle's ranks and coming off his probably his best game.
Oh, absolutely. Last week for sure. You like this man. I'm going to insert myself in the story here. I had a coffee with him when he was playing at Williamstown.
Hang on. Are you comfortable with this?
No.
This is Ben Cameron's area.
That's why I said, Ben, you're going to like this. But I had a coffee with him and a chat about a career. He was eyeing a career in business and finance, and I think I might have been trying to get him to play at the Old Zabs at the time as well. And then not long after that, he got the lifeline at Fremantle. So hasn't needed any of my advice just as yet, Benny. But anyway, it's a great. And you're right, he was sensational last week. That was as good a game as he's played in his career, and it's what it's done. It's allowed them to leave Alex Pearce at home with confidence. So
I think the reality of a player like Oscar McDonald, it shows the relevance of capable big men.
Yep.
If you're prepared to hang in there and find a way, stay at a high level, stay at VFL level, and if you're going well, because they're the ones that usually fall over within a season. So you're sort of going, geez, where do we pick another one from? We don't want to get a young one because I know they get pushed around and bullied a little bit. Can we find a seasoned, experienced one somewhere that we know is just going to be able to come in and do a job? Not dominate, just do a job, play a role.
Just on Oscar McDonald, the question is at the business end of the season, is he going to be there? So Alex Pearce is managed today. Brennan Cox comes back in. Feels like it's almost a straight shootout between Cox and Oscar.
Absolutely, and if you were trying to pick holes, I still think that maybe the one vulnerability in this Fremantle team, and it has played out a little bit across the course of the year, is that mobile, third key tall forward. That's Cox is probably he's a solid defender, isn't he? And pretty solid one-on-one, but I think Gunston he got them. He kicked 6 against them, I think it was, at the start of the year. There's been other opportunities. So for me, I'm looking at Bailey Fritsch today. Can he cause them some problems as that sort of hybrid mobile forward matchup? I think, when the long ball comes in, they're pretty good, aren't they? And Luke Ryan and Brennan Cox and Alex Pearce when he's there, can they exploit that matchup today? So I agree, Corby. If you're Oscar McDonald, there's a premiership up for grabs here.
Massive,
You're not giving your spot back anytime quickly.
Just on the 2021 premiership for Melbourne, there's 11 premiership players out there today. 10 of them are playing for Melbourne because, of course, Luke Jackson is one of those playing for the Fremantle Dockers. He goes heads up with his premiership ruck partner in Max Gawn. Is it the winner of this battle that will be the starting ruck for the All-Australian team?
No, because they're all going to get... Oh, it's the starting ruck?
Yeah, starting ruck position.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, I think that's a fair call. I mean, they're all going to get in, so I'm not concerned about the blazer, but that's...
You're picking 3 ruckmen.
Oh, we've covered this. It never lock it in now. Never has there been more of a certainty.
I think they will as well.
The other thing is too, why is it this matchup? What about the matchup when Grundy gave Max a bath earlier in the year, for example?
Both Maxes.
He just gets forgotten along the way.
That's right. It's not a one-match competition to be an All-Australian. It's a body of work.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I think...
Well, you answered your question.
Yeah. I know, but...
So you can't agree with me.
Disdain.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Rightfully answered.
I didn't like the tone.
Apologies.
I think there's an element of Luke Jackson. You know, this is the team that's going to finish on top of the ladder by 3 games.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to win their best and fairest, if not be top 2 or 3. So all that gets taken into account. But from my point of view, they'll all be in there. And it's going to have to be. He's going to need some help today. I think Mason Cox plays a reasonably important role today as well. Talking about players who want to cement themselves in a deep finals run, Corby. So Mason's got the role at the moment. How long can he hold on to it for?
It feels like the perfect segue to go and chat to Ray on the back of Ben saying, I don't like your tone.
But just on that, it's an interesting one for Melbourne, because if Luke Jackson does get on top of Max Gawn around the ground, have Melbourne got something up their sleeve to go on, okay, we need to try this today so we see it before a final series?
I like it. It's perfectly set up. So Gawn and the Demons up against Jackson and the Dockers coming up next. Cloudy day, 16 degrees. It's a glorious winter's day. It's not too cold here in Melbourne, which you can't always say this time of year on the 8th of August. Ray Chamberlain, our near 400-game umpire man who's officiated in multiple grand finals, is with us again, riding the boundary this evening. Was that one of your quotes famously, Ray, about watching your tone to a player out there?
We don't talk to one another like that,
That's
Corb.
it.
And BC, mate, Benny Cameron, you stand your ground, son. It's going to be a long day if you wilt right now. You talked about the weather down here, Corb. It's absolutely magnificent. There's a little tickly northerly, which makes it nice and warm. Ground is in magnificent condition, and as you've intimated, Fremantle, we won't see him here again until the last Saturday in September if they can make it. So I reckon they want to get it done today, and they're playing against a side who they don't go better than anywhere else in the country than here. So I'm looking forward to this.
And it is match of the round, you know that for sure, because Ray, the umpires are in.
Yeah, they are. They're in yellow, mate, so that's the big bopper.
The big game yellow.
Yeah.
So this is something I'll learn as the year went on. The umpires only wear yellow 1 game a weekend, and it's a commercial deal, which we don't talk about, obviously, on the ABC, but essentially the umpires pick 1 game. They wear green in every other match, except when there's a clash, they wear blue or something weird. But this is the yellow game, which is where you know that it's a big deal.
Are we allowed to say it's the ironic sponsorship here on the ABC?
Pipe down, Ben.
Yep.
Chamber, just while we got half a second, obviously we're approaching finals time. Have you got any idea, or maybe just your opinion on if the grand final was next week, who'd be walking out there bouncing the ball?
Yeah, I think there's look, the AFL have got. I think there's sort of 6 to 8 umpires who'd sit in that bucket, and for mine, we've got 2 of them here today.
Okay.
And they generally spread the talent across the 9 games over the weekend according to the outcomes, the impact of the outcomes of those games.
Yep.
So you'd have seen a couple last night, I reckon, would have got some Virgin points up as they travelled up north, and then we've got a couple here today for sure.
There's another little thing up for grabs for Fremantle today. They got a club record last week with 18 wins. We love WA-only records, and particularly when Fremantle are up and about, they love just pointing or getting something back over Big Brother across the road in the West Coast Eagles. If they win today, they will equal the record for the most home and away wins in a season by either the WA-based clubs. It's all in front of us. The 2 rucks to go at it. Gawn and Jackson, the Dockers and the D's on ABC Sport.
Jackson wins the tap, but it ends up with Gawn at ground level. Sends the D's inside 50. Fritsch brings it to ground. Chapman's there for the Dockers. Handball away towards Warner. Can't gather it cleanly. Johnson goes in. Tackled by Petty. Taken to ground. All upcoming right forward pocket. D's the early attacking.
We'll shout out to Carl Warner, really underrated player. Got the 10 coaches votes last week. He's become a really, really solid defender for the Dockers.
28 disposals and 6 rebounds. Jackson the tap down to Johnson, to Bolton. The Dockers off their back flank. Away to Clark, who gives it to Frederick. Left foot kick around the members' wing in the Amos and Tracy direction. Lever punches it away. Swikowski roves, takes it back to the Dockers. Manages to get the handball out to Bolton. Runs a little U-turn on the wing, kicks back infield. Nearly causes a turnover. Chandler spills it though. Chapman goes in over the footy and the umpire wants it. Umpires Fisher, Meyer, Meredith and Bales in charge of this one today. No score through the opening minute.
Dan Turner has the job on Josh Tracy. Didn't expect that matchup.
Big one to watch from the ball up. Spills to Sharp. Got a handball out to Sparrow. Turns and hooks a kick down to half forward. Letting a bounce in all of that was Oscar McDonald. Spills down the way of Petty. He's tackled on a ball up. Of course, the last time these two teams met, Fremantle won by 8 goals. It was the Paddy Voss Harrison Petty game.
Yeah,
so
it was.
Introduced a new rule on the back of
Keep an
that.
eye on that today. My man Coltol's got the job on Murphy Reid.
Coltol.
There's a secondary whistle here. It's for a throw. It's a Fremantle free, and the advantage taken. Sarong kicks it to the advantage of Voss, and he takes the mark, just getting a little bit of separation there. And Paddy Voss will shoot here from right in front, 50 out.
That sideways lead, I think, is now important in the back lead. My teams now probably play more back shoulder to not allow that. So that sideways lead, because when you're coming out of a stoppage like that, like Freo were out from a half-back flank, there's so much space to work with laterally.
Just mentioned Paddy Voss in that incident with Harrison Petty. Say his name and he appears. Here he is, Patrick Voss from right in front, kicks from 50. That is the perfect home setter. And he charges out towards the crowd with the two fists up. He's pretty happy with all of that too. Patrick Voss kicks the first of the day. The celebration to match. The Dockers, 1 straight 6. Melbourne yet to score, 2.5 minutes in.
Yeah, it was a beautiful kick, wasn't it? Caleb Sarong out of clearance here. Luke Jackson. That's the beauty of Luke Jackson.
Well, everyone
the follow-up
stopped.
tackle. Yeah.
So that's where the advantage should be paid in that example. So, look, I think Sarong got lucky there being awarded the advantage because he actually stopped himself.
I remember him kicking 6 one day here at Paddy Voss against the Pies. So he will like the big stage, no doubt about it.
There is a pocket of Fremantle fans over in the Dom Sheed pocket, though they might not
pocket.
like that name. Yeah, the purple pocket today. Gorn takes it out of the ruck. Handball bounces back to him, gives it off to Cozzy Pickett, the speed demon. Handball away to Sparrow, eyes the goals and puts it through. The instant reply. 1 straight 6, each of 2, 3.5 minutes into the opening term. And we could settle into this afternoon. Luke Ball and Adam Ramanaskas.
We'll settle into this certainly if there's centre bounce work like that is. So what Gord's doing at the moment, he's trying to negate Jackson's jump. So he's jumping early to almost try to push Jackson off the line of the ball. But what it is, it's Gord's follow-up work that I think's been most impressive in the opening stoppages, either centre bounce or around the ground, where he's not waiting for Jackson to move. He's moving himself back, Scorn, to be involved in the play. Again there, he was the one on his hands and knees scooping the handball out to allow Cozzy Pickett to get forward.
Sun breaking through the cloud cover as umpire Fisher tosses up the red Sherrin. Ruck Sherrin down. Jackson a more telling touch and now becomes tackler Jackson. Do it all again in the middle. Jack Steele laying an egg there. Jackson down again to Bolton. Got a hand pass out to Clark. His handball goes back to Chapman. The Dockers now at centre half back. Kicks out to the wing. Missed the intended target in Jackson. Invites in Rivers, who is tackled immediately by Jackson, and a ball up on the wing.
So the opening couple of centre bounces and stoppages, Cozzy Pickett and Shea Bolton have been next to each other. If that matchup stays for the game, expect some attacking flair.
Ball up on the worn wing. Gorn spikes it forward. Chapman taken down in the tackle. Another ball up. Just alongside the logo. Up it goes. No one clean it first, then Langdon gets it back to Gorn, gives it to Rivers, off to Windsor. Look out, trying to close him down, Voss. Kicks up towards half forward, and Fritsch on the end of it marks right on the arc of 50.
And this is the matchup that Paulie spoke about. So it's Luke Ryan with Bailey Fritsch. Fritsch is a hit-up. He's an absolute hit-up player. Comes at the leg all the time. Luke Ryan's a layoff interceptor. So this could be a really interesting watch, this matchup.
5 goals over the last 2 weeks for Bailey Fritsch. 6 goals back in the 2021 AFL Grand Final. Left foot kick from 53 out. It looks pretty good. It's into the woodwork. Right-hand goalpost. Melbourne lead by a point. Their first lead of the afternoon, 5.5 minutes in. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
Short kick out from Clark finds Ryan, the dual All-Australian. Swings his kick out wide to Oscar McDonald. He's getting jeered in all of that. I think he was delisted from Melbourne originally.
Long memories.
That's
the
a bit
MCC.
stiff. Kicks down the wing, and Jackson picked it off the top shelf, takes the mark on the wing.
Oh, it's just mouth-watering
that's a good
matchups, aren't we? Jackson gone, as you said, Pickett, Bolton.
Jackson 4-0 against his old team. Never lost to the Demons. Short to Warner. Warner's kick short to Brayshaw. Spills it. Langford takes it for the D's. Gives it to Cozzy Pickett. Kicks down to Petty. Mark 60 out. Plays on. Petty turns. Kicks to full forward. Genuine one-on-one. Chapman does really well. And Chapman takes the intercept mark. Fullback for Fremantle.
He shorts it away to Warner. Has it at fullback.
Another one of those underrated, unheralded defenders, isn't he? Chapman and Warner.
Yep. Finally getting a run at it. Heath Chapman played all bar one game last year and has played every game this year, but before that had a bad run with his body. His kick here, not great to Murphy. Reid on the back flank. Gathers though Reid, gets a kick away to Johnson. He feeds it forward. Off to McDonald, back to Reid, sweeping handball forward to Switkowski. Forward of the wing now, Freo. Chips it infield and finds Bolton, looking inside 50. Has a leading Amos, looks deeper than that. Down there he's got Voss, bouncing ball. Oh, it nearly came back on its point. Instead it goes into the post, scores level. 1-1-7 both teams, 7.5 played opening term.
115 players had played every game leading into the weekend, all 20. Fremantle have 11 of those, the most of any team in the competition.
Wow.
And kick out from Rivers. Goes long, straight up the pipe, and Jackson takes the intercept mark. So former roommates, Rivers and Jackson. Handball out to Clark. Goes long, back to full forward for the Dockers. Punched away by Lever. Bolton had a fresh air swing. Spills down to Voss. Voss handball out to Dudley. The Dudley bomb from the pocket.
Well, they're saying it's hit the post.
The D's are all pointing at the post, but the umpire has got both fingers out and signals full points. So Fremantle by 6 points, 2-1. They lead Melbourne 1-1, 8 minutes in. And I'm sure the Ark will have a look at it as it goes back to the middle. Saturday footy on ABC Sport, Freo by 6.
It was a fresh air by Bolton, but Voss he stood up in the tackle. So we're just getting the replay now of it hit the post, and Melbourne plays a cert.
I reckon we'll need Snicko here. In fairness to the umpire, it was the banana kick from so close in.
Did it go the wrong side of the post?
It looked like it
We
took
might get a better look on this angle here, Paulie.
I thought it took a little deflection just looking at the first replay.
Ball's hitting that post down there. It gives me nightmares.
I think it's...
Oh, no, that's a goal.
I think that's a goal.
It's a sausage, isn't it?
Yep, that looks good to me.
Unless Snicko's involved, but it's not the wrong side of the post.
Putting it in.
1-2.
Oh, Corb. Liquid paper.
Here's the cousin of Cozzy Pickett, a former schoolmate of his as well. Free kick in the middle. It'll go the way of Jackson. Max Gawn just sprints away to get back. Jackson gives it to Young. The Dockers go forward. Off to Sarong. Left foot kick. Voss!
What a kick.
Full-chested. He marks 35 out directly in front. So exquisite kick from Sarong.
So Gawn's sprinting down there after the free kick to try to get in the way, to be a disruption. But the kick was just too good.
Yeah.
Was too good. Didn't give Max Gawn any chance, and it's right up the centre at 50 as well. We're, 30 metres, 35 metres out, where Voss has taken that mark.
Just changed the angles enough, didn't he? So Gawn was in direct line with the ball, just pulled the kick enough to let Voss run onto it.
Paddy Voss, stuttering approach, close to the man on the mark, but he whacks it through. He's built for the big stage. He's got a couple. Fremantle 3-1-19, Melbourne 1-1-7, 10 played. Opening stanza, Adam Ramanauskas and Luke Ball.
Well, possession's a worry already for the D's. So 35-16, obviously in Fremantle's favour. It's the uncontested possession. So those Fremantle runners getting out, Clark, Bolton, Chapman, all up on the top of the stats board at the moment. So Melbourne need to just calm this game down now. So 2 in a row there for the Dockers.
Ray Chamberlain on the boundary.
You guys have identified the matchup between Gawn and Jackson at centre bounce. Free kick paid at that centre bounce for a push. I've got to be honest, they haven't paid a free kick in that action all year.
Yeah.
I think that matchup down back might be a little issue for Melbourne too. So Freo trying to keep the ball away from Lever and Turner, and Tom McDonald has his hands full with Paddy Voss. As Jackson in the middle, involved in the chain. Handball out to Young. Young gets the Dockers moving forward. Kicks to full forward. Tracy hands to it, no mark. Spills to Tom McDonald. He's tackled, lost it. Tracy taken the ground by Bowie. That's a good tackle by the little man. And the redhead gets up with Tracy. We'll have a ball up 30 metres out from the Fremantle goal. The Dockers by 12 points.
Umpire Meredith puts it aloft, slapped down by Gawn. Jackson ends up taking it. He's stripped of it in the tackle. Ball jars free. Sparrow merges with it for Melbourne. Kicks to the wing. Fritsch and Ryan in a foot race. Bouncing ball out the back it goes. Cox there for Freo. Gathers on the wing. Away to McVie, the former Demon. Off the Clark. Handball knocked down by Van Rooyen. Back into dispute, but Clark wins it. And Fremantle can attack again.
Handball to Dudley. Got it on the logo. Broadcast wing to Sarong. Turns. Handballs away to the run of O'Driscoll. 70 metres out. Pokes it inside to Amos, who marks it left half forward.
So what's really evident to start this game, Bally, is Fremantle just wanting to hit up their key forwards. Lever likes to sit off. Tom McDonald likes to sit off.
Yep.
Turner likes to sit off. So all entries so far, what they've had 6 entries inside forward 50 for 4 scoring
No
shots.
bombs.
All lowered.
Yep.
Lower the eyes. Let's make Melbourne's key defenders actually defend on the lead.
We've spoken about being a bit of a lost art. Isn't it great to see big key forwards leading at the leg?
Left half forward, left footer, of course. Jai Amos in the shadows of the grandstand. Oh, he's got it made in the shade. Amos puts it through, and the Dockers lead by 3 goals already. We're 13 minutes in. Fremantle 4-1. They lead Melbourne 1-1. This is Saturday footy on ABC Sport with Rama and Bally.
One thing Melbourne haven't done well this year is start games well, for whatever it's worth. So just even money in first quarters. Have seen them fall behind a lot and have to work their way back into the game.
Well, look, right now it's more than working their way back into the game. It's actually trying to find some possession. So 9 kicks, 9 handballs they've had in 13 minutes of football here, the Demons. So it's really been Fremantle overwhelming them with skill, with possession, with overlap run, with handball receive. And Melbourne have no answer at the moment.
Last 3 goals of the game going the way of the purple. Dominantly in white today. Cox in the ruck, gets high, wins the tap down, but ball into dispute. Bolton goes and wins it for the Dockers. Handball to Johnson. He can kick on his right, inside attacking 50. Bouncing ball in the pocket. Bad bounce for Lever. Amos taps it down. Turner and Bowie arrive. The latter claims it. Handball to Turner. D's in their back pocket. Tolstrup to Bowie. They're under the pump here, the D's. Back to Tolstrup. And he kicks to Jaff across the goal mouth. And now there's an exiting angle for the D's.
Looks at Van Rooyen. Can't quite complete the mark. 2 Dockers converge on it. Van Rooyen wins it anyway. Handball away to Langford. Kicks down the wing for Chandler. He's got the strapping on that left hand, which was busted up. Handball away to Steele. Handball inside for Langford. Eludes him. Langford off his knees. Traps it. Wins it at half forward. Gives it back to Chandler. Kicks inside 50. Jefferson flies. No mark. Spills to Salem. Handball to Laurie. Laurie shoots. Misses everything.
I reckon he should have had a shot, Christian Salem. He's on his left foot, wasn't he? He gave it to Bailey Laurie, who had to rush a shot on his non-preferred. Just good scrambling from the Dockers there, wasn't it? I mean, I think it was a poor handball to Jack Steele at his laces that held them up a bit, but good scrambling, good defence.
Neil Erasmus takes the kick up towards the contest, down at ground level. The D's are there. Through Laurie to Sparrow to Tolstrup, who waits a kick beautifully for Chandler. 40 out, directly in front. He'll go back and have a look at the sticks.
Yeah, great kick. We talk about lowering the eyes up the other end and honouring the lead. There, Chandler was stationary inside forward 50. No Fremantle opponent within 5 metres of him.
Is that a good year, boy?
Super year.
Super
year.
Yes.
Coltol, as has this man back into the team today.
5-year extension earlier on in the season. His left foot drop punt is a goal. Cade Chandler brings the D's back into the match. 4-1-25 plays 2-1-13. The Dockers by 12, quarter hour mark. First term, Saturday footy on ABC.
So is the Coltol nickname, is that, have we just made that up, or?
I think that's a Bally original.
That's a Bally.
No, I reckon you said it. I'm not going to claim it. Yeah, anyway, I'm happy to. He's a favourite of mine. And he has had a super year, as has that man who's kicked the goal. He's, as you said, well-earned contract, long contract extension. Chandler this year become a really important player. Just one of those role players, really hard worker, and that's his 17th goal for the season, so that's a terrific return.
From the same part of the world as Jay Polkinghorne. Jay.
Right, first time.
Yeah, doubted myself.
Here we go. Mason Cox in the ruck against Van Rooyen. Cox wins the hit out. Van Rooyen hunting out after it, gets taken high. They get a free kick. Look at the Bronx cheer. We're only 16 minutes into the game. The kick out towards half forward, punched away by Box. Down into the path of Fitzgerald, wins it for Melbourne, kicks to full forward. McVie smothers the bounce, but Petty there to intercept, knocks it away, and now a pack forms. And the ump says, I'll have it. It was Driscoll on the bottom of all of that, getting back on the wing to take it top of the defensive goal square. Melbourne deep forward, Fremantle by 12 points.
Cox and Petty. Cox taps it down, Steele takes it, gets rid of it. Laurie dribbles it on goal, it's through. Sneaks it through from alongside the behind post. And that was delicate and exquisite, all in one. And Melbourne have come barnstorming back into this match. 4-1-25 plays 3-1-19. 17 minutes into the first term, Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
Well, Remmer, I was just thinking Fremantle have got to find a way to maximise the advantage when Mason Cox is in the ruck against Jacob Van Rooyen. The relief ruckman, Max Gorn, runs back onto the ground now. And that time, well, he just hit it straight down Jack Steele's throat.
Well, no arm across Jack Steele there, so it's more defence.
Pretty clever kick in the end, Bailey Laurie. Something out of nothing.
Along with the behind post, just able to curl it through along the ground. So Freo kicked 3 in a row. They led by 18 points, and you felt like it was going to break Fremantle's way, the D's, with the next 2. One-score game. Mason Cox with the goggles on, gets up, palms it down towards Johnson. Johnson's hand pass broken up. Sparrow turns straight into Johnson, tackled. Ball up again in the middle of the G. Reece Conker again on the running duties, a former Docker himself, former Tiger. He's been Melbourne's runner for the last couple of seasons, and so he's again today. Secondary ball up in the centre square. Mason Cox wins it down, but straight to Gawn. Gets a kick out to the wing. In the shadows, Sharp trying to keep it in front of him. Can't trap it. Warner in the other direction. Fighting on Windsor, trying to whack it away. Straight to Erasmus, under pressure. Erasmus through it. And the tackle from Jack Steele. Free kick for Melbourne. Have I missed something in the first 15 minutes? The D's fans feel like they've been
a bit aggrieved.
Hard done by already. Handball away to Cozzy Pickett. Kicks to centre half forward, and Mason Cox takes the intercept mark. Centre half back for Fremantle. Dockers by 6, 18 minutes in.
Cox has had a shot. Straight over. Laurie takes it and rams it through for his second. Deary me, Mason Cox. And the D's draw level. 4-1-25, 19 minutes into the first. Justin Longmuir turning to the phone. Adam Ramanauskas and Luke Wall.
Well, ambition and ability.
Yeah, it was,
Murphy Reid was wrapping around there. One of the best kicks in the competition. He didn't want to give it to him.
Not sure we need Harrison Petty taunting, doing that one, given what we've seen this year. Anyway, it was a mistake. We've all made them. You've made plenty, Harrison. But, just give it to the ball users, Big Mace.
Bit of the boy who cried wolf, isn't it?
Isn't it? Got the taunting rule on the back of Harrison Petty. He's got the new do as a result.
Pet hate of mine. Anyway, Big Mace, he owes him one.
Yeah. So 3 in a row for the Dockers, 3 in a row for the Demons. Scores level again. Back in the middle, another whistle, a free kick, Fremantle's way.
That's across the line for Matt scored.
Not amongst my favourite rules as Mason Cox in the middle of the G, pokes it to centre half forward. Chanclock Jack.
Great mark.
Drops back in the hole, takes the intercept mark. Centre half back for the Demons. And he works it out wide to Tom McDonald, the retiring D. Stays in the side with Blake Howes fracturing his arm last week. Goes back to Jath. Jath switches from one back flank to the other. They find Rivers in the shadows here on the northern side. Handball over to Lever. Floats a kick down the wing for the D's. Warner puts his fist.
Mark it.
He's going to mark it. And he gets shoved straight in the back by Petty, right in front of the advertising hoardings. The mark will be paid after the original spoil. Warner hugs it to his chest, has it at half back for Fremantle.
Melbourne with the last 3 goals of the game in a 4-minute span after Fremantle got out by 18.
What is Harrison Petty doing?
Just tried to block Jordan Clark, bumped him over, free kick downfield.
That should be downfield, like 50, shouldn't it, Chamber? We'll go down to you. Because in the end, that's not going to advantage Fremantle at all. But
He's not usually that kind of player, is he?
I dare say it's because of what happened in the earlier fixture with Paddy Voss, as Warner moves it on to Erasmus, kicks inside 50, through the hands of Lever, out the back it goes into the pocket. Tom McDonald's there, gives it to Rivers, back to Lever, back to Tom McDonald. Clear and kick up to the wing. Petty launches at the footy. Oscar McDonald drops the mark and allows him Sharp. Here go the Demons.
Off and running, takes a bounce. Sharp pokes the kick down to half forward. Wins at the target, trying to turn Clark inside out. Clark slips over. Windsor wins the footy. Kicks to full forward. Fritsch the target. Copped an unkind bounce. Cozzy in the vicinity. Traps it. The legs. He goes. Cozzy Pickett with a special. As pretty as it gets. Traps the ball back on his feet and knocks it through from 20 out. There's very few in the game that can do that. Melbourne in front. They've kicked 4 in a row. 5-1-31, Fremantle 4-1-25, 22 into the opening term.
Well, it's cat-like. First was Caleb Windsor who kept his feet. And Fritsch did a good job not to allow Chapman to mark it. But Chapman looked away with the football. Cozzy's just reached in and clawed that ball back to him, sprung back to his feet in an instant, and then just kicked the goal. Terrific. That's what we just love coming to the football to see. You know, the high marks, and that's all great. But when it's actually a little bit of individual brilliance where you have to scrap and fight, that was outstanding by Cozzy.
Third lead change of the match. Jackson following up at ground level. Fremantle ball off to Bolton. Running out of the centre. Kicks inside 50 in the Amos direction. Lever puts his fist into it. Tracy with a big bump on Jaff. That'll be one to watch. Ball jars free. Tracy tackles. Jaff still down.
Yeah, umpire wants it. Looked clean right down the middle, so he's knocked the wind out of him, but he's got to get up here, CJ.
Yep, find your player.
Ball up inside 50 for the Dockers. Jackson hooks it down. Taken by Turner. Kick smothered by Dudley. Ball comes to Langford, who gets it out to Tolstrup and hurries a kick. Beyond defensive 50 for the D's.
Just need someone to be able to pick it up. Pack forms out at half, or between wing and half forward for Freo. We'll have a stoppage. Ray Chamberlain.
What about the umpire? No 50 on that one with Jordan Clark because it wasn't a give and go to get back into the next active play. And it wasn't a downfield free kick. That's why it was brought back. The reason why the Melbourne Demon fans are a little bit upset, Max Gawn unwarranted, and then a missed holding the ball opportunity to Patrick Voss in the forward 50, I think, Corb.
Melbourne won the stoppage. Gawn whacked it forward. Langdon's kick coming back. Oscar McDonald drills it to Tracy. Marks it half forward. Long to Switkowski, who marks it full forward. And Josh Tracy with a superb delivery. His first kick in the game could lead to another Fremantle goal.
Well, it's just the penetration in the kick, isn't it? It's a 60-metre bullet. And it's just landed on a small man, Sam Switkowski's chest, in front of two key Melbourne defenders.
Well, this is everything we hoped it would be. This to make it a 10-goal quarter. Switkowski gets Freo even. 5-1-31 apiece. And we're only 24 minutes into proceedings. So both have 6 scores. Fremantle from 11 entries, Melbourne from 10. The blockbuster we'd hoped for is turning into a shootout. Saturday footy on ABC Sport with Rama and Bawley.
Oh, it's turning into a shootout because of the skill level. The skill level is high by both teams. Melbourne have evened up that possession count now. But where they're doing probably their work is in the contested area. +7 this quarter. Corb mentioned the inside 50s, 11-10. So very little now in this contest. I think it's settled. I think Melbourne were probably a little bit gun-ho to start the game, and Fremantle were able to capitalise, but Melbourne has settled now into this game nicely.
He's in the coaches' votes last week. Now Jackson, beautiful tap down to Brayshaw, to Sarong, drives Fremantle deep into the pocket. Free kick against Amos. Overzealous against Lever, and they'll take the advantage. Turner chips it laterally to Cozzy Pickett. In the long sleeves, feeds the run of Rivers off the back flank. Chips it to Sparrow. And Melbourne just working it down the members' wing. Is there a future at Melbourne beyond this year for Sparrow? He kicks up to half forward. Fritsch can't take the mark. He was impeded. So a free kick. He looks inside 50. Jefferson darts off to the pocket. Hands to it. Doesn't mark. Sharp roves. Snaps. Across the goal mouth. Bouncing ball. Gets a great bounce. It's the post. It bounced to the top of the goal square. Bounced on its point. And nearly went through, if not for the inside half of the post.
Break, wasn't it?
Yeah. Melbourne by a point.
bounced 9 metres back towards the goal.
So it's Harry Sharps behind after all that. And the kick out for the Dockers. As McVie goes long up into the middle of the ground. Punched away into the path of Tolstrup. Melbourne win it back. Handball to Steele. Handball to Rivers. Handball back to Tolstrup. Out the front of the centre square. Kicks into the forward pocket. Chandler running back downhill trying to claim it. Beaten to it by Johnson, and he's helped out of bounds. We'll have a throw in.
That use of handball by the D's in the middle of the ground there, terrific. Don't see it often enough, the creativity with handball anymore in our game.
How about this? Fremantle 5-1, Melbourne 5-2, so the D's by a point. The D's 2 behinds, both posters. So that's a pretty hot start. 10 goals in the game, 2 posters, and only one other score.
Gawn taps it down for Sparrow. Melbourne inside 50. Handball for Windsor. Just misses him. Has to go back and get it. Looking for Langford. Sarong wrenches him off it. Wins the footy. Releases Young. Dockers back the other way. Handball to Erasmus. To Tracy. Back leading is Amos. That's where he'll head. Towards goal. The long kick. Bouncing ball. Amos sees it through for a minor score. It was out of reach. An apology from Tracy. Scores level.
Rammer, it's a great call. The art of the handball. It's only a small thing, but... And we did the game Thursday night. The amount of missed handballs or handballs to feet compared to today. How's Sarong there? It's 15-metre handball. Young didn't break stride. It's great to watch.
Melbourne short kicking game in the defensive half. Tolstrup to Fritsch. Also in the long sleeves, as is customary for him. Goes long beyond the wing. Trying to rip it down Van Rooyen unsuccessfully. His fight's on at ground level. Ball comes out. Melbourne's way. Chandler feeds a handball away to Steele. Was he taken high? He was. Free kick for the dual All-Australian. Get it between wing and half forward. And all of that, Murphy Reid a little slow to pick himself up. He was involved in that contest at ground level, and now he's being told to exit the area. Barely able to stand on 2 feet. Kick inside the forward pocket, superb from Steele, but Chapman awake to it. Knocks it away from Van Rooyen, and a boundary throw in, forward pocket for the D's.
Listed at 193, Heap Chapman. I reckon he's got long arms too. Yeah. It's about 3 or 4 times already this quarter where he's looked out of position. He's just been able to get a hand in.
Needed to measure the reach.
Yeah.
The old tail of the tape.
Forward 50 stoppage for the D's. Short throw in. Gawn takes it. Gets the handball away towards Windsor. He's wrenched off it. Holding the ball. Good tackle from Nathan O'Driscoll. And Fremantle in their back pocket. 28 minutes played. 5-2-32 both teams. Scores level. O'Driscoll. Long left foot kick. Gawn goes up. He takes the mark. Melbourne back in possession and about to go back inside 50.
It's a heavyweight bout, isn't it? Yeah. Both of Gawn and Jackson landing blows, having moments. It's going to be a great battle throughout the day.
Won't go inside 50 immediately. Moves it on to Jath. Now he sends them deep towards a contest. Pack forms. No mark. Down in front. Chapman takes it. Tackle. Trying to get rid of it. Held up. Ball up. 20 out from the D's attacking goal at the city end of the ground.
Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Corporate Middlemass, Ben Cameron, Adam Ramanauskas, Luke Ball and Ray Chamberlain, your call team, as Jackson palms it down to Young. He's going nowhere fast. Another ball up, 16 degrees, mostly cloudy day in Melbourne. Perfect for footy in the start of August. Has gone, palms it down, but it's McVie who gets the clearing kick out of there. Tuckles a kick up to the wing. Nice bit of work in the end for the D's as Turner able to win the footy. Handball to Steele. Handball goes back to Tom McDonald, but Steele was felled after getting rid of it. Gets up, takes the free between wing and half forward. Short kick to Windsor. And Windsor marks right on the 50.
Oh, has he got the leg here?
Certainly on the run, we've seen him kick goals from outside 50, haven't we?
He's confident.
He was confident. He didn't even look, did he?
2 goals last week against the Suns, which is his equal best. With the stand rule, Rammer, he might be able to get up to
about
speed
52.
here.
He's going to have to kick it probably 55 to clear the line.
He's gone back a long way. Chance to get a bit of momentum up. Try and turn it into a running shot at goal. Bolton planted on the mark. Windsor, slow approach, kicks a wounded duck to full forward, spills out towards Max. In the end, Melbourne keep it. Handball meant for Rivers. Switkowski intercepts. He's tackled. And a ball up, and it'll come back forward pocket here for the Demons. Another stoppage. Didn't hit it, Windsor.
Put up quickly, slapped down by Gawn. All bobbles around, eventually ends up with Brayshaw to Young and a clearing kick. Up towards the logo, but the D's are there. And the mark taken by Turner. Turner wants to switch it. Send it towards the worn wing side of the ground and finds Tolstrup. Tolstrup, a little slow to move. Eventually just pokes it onto Bowie. Between wing and half forward. Scores level. 30 minutes played opening term. Sunshine at the MCG. Bowie sets it up to the pocket. Cozzy launches, goes early, doesn't mark. Down in front. Wrapped up Brayshaw. A ball up left forward pocket for the D's. This has lived up to the billing so far.
Umpire tosses it in the air. Jackson, a more telling touch there, wins it down. Young makes contact on Cozzy Pickett. He made contact high. Pickett tracking the footy.
Oh, no.
Pickett threw his head back. The contact looked like it was across the body.
Yeah, and it wasn't even high. So,
big penalty, shot at goal here for Cozzy. What do you reckon, Ray?
Well, the worst thing about that one is where it came from the three umpires triangulating that contest. He's behind and he's had a guess, and I don't like it one bit.
Yeah, Cozzy sucked him in.
Cozzy to make them pay. He hasn't hit that.
What do you say, Corby?
No, the ball don't lie.
Ball don't lie.
It doesn't reach the goal line on the snap from about 40 metres out, and in the end it's walked over the boundary line for a throw-in. Deep forward for Melbourne, left forward pocket. Footy Gods take care of that one. 32 points apiece. 32 minutes gone. How about that for some symmetry? Opening quarter.
Get another look here with the forward 50 stoppage. Gawn nearly takes it out of the ruck, just loses possession. Brayshaw picks it up, dribbles it towards the defensive arc for Freo. Frederick overruns it, coming in Langdon, off to Cozzy, centering kick. Jackson gets a hand on it, goes again. Gawn's right there with him. Jackson turns tackler in the end on Sharp, and a ball up. 15 out from the attacking goal here for the D's.
Racing the clock, the Demons not in time as Cozzy Pickett trying to burst through the stoppage. That is a highly entertaining opening quarter. 5-2-32 Melbourne, 5-2-32 Fremantle. Scores level at quarter time. The D's for the third time this year can't be split after the opening frame. The goal kickers in that first quarter, so Bailey Laurie's kicked 2, 1 for Sparrow, 1 for Cozzy Pickett and 1 for Chandler. Meanwhile for Fremantle, the same set, so 2 for Voss and then singles for Amos, Witkowski and Dudley. Your thoughts throughout the afternoon on 0437 774 774. Wayne from Mildura off the SMS. Fellas, with the way the AFL and the NRL ladders are, a first-time champion could be had in both codes, especially after the New Zealand Warriors smashed the ladder-leading Panthers last night. Thanks, Wayne. Appreciate that. Obviously, a bit to play out in both codes, but Fremantle, the number one team, as they have been for a period of time on the AFL table, have a chance to shore up the minor premiership today. 0437 774 774, that SMS number. Standalone footy here in the afternoon time slot. Coming up, we got 2 sites for the Saturday twilight game. Now we're going to see the Sydney Swans up against Port Adelaide, and our broadcast match will be Geelong and Essendon for most of the network. And then we're all back together tonight for Adelaide and Richmond. So we get our dessert first today with really the match of the day up top with Fremantle and Melbourne here, and it has delivered so far. Scores level at quarter time. Back with the thoughts of Rammer and Bawley in just a moment. This is Saturday Footy on ABC Sport.
I don't know what I'm going to find here.
Discover a vault filled with all the cases, all the crime.
It's dangerous. You don't trust anyone.
Shetland, The Capture, Treasure and Dirt, and so many more.
You can't say I didn't warn you.
Stream now on ABC iView.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Jackson, handball out to Clark, goes long back to full forward for the Dockers. Punched away by Lee, but Bolton had a fresh air swing. Spills down to Voss. Voss handball out to Dudley. The Dudley bomb from the pocket.
Jackson gives it to Young. The Dockers go forward. Off to Sarong, left foot kick. Voss! Full-chested. He marks 35 out directly in front. Paddy Voss. Stuttering approach, close to the man on the mark, but he whacks it through. He's built for the big stage. Oh, Cox has had a shot, turn it straight over. Laurie takes it and rams it through for his second. Deary me, Mason Cox.
Windsor the target, trying to turn Clark inside out. Clark slips over. Windsor wins the footy, kicks to full forward. Fritsch the target, popped an unkind bounce. Cozzy in the vicinity. Traps it. The legs. He goes. Cozzy Pickett with a special. As pretty as it gets.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
Can't ask for much more than that. 5-2-32 apiece. Melbourne and Fremantle at quarter time. Luke Ball, Adam Ramanauskas on ABC.
Oh, how good. What a first quarter. Beautiful day at the G. Two really good teams. Obviously one who's been the benchmark. And as you said, Benny, it's absolutely lived up to the billing. And we'll start with some of the great matchups. Isn't it, I don't think we should take for granted coming along today and watching two of the best ruckmen, one of all time, and one who's probably on the way to that, isn't he, Rammer, in Luke Jackson. So I mentioned it's a bit like a heavyweight battle. I think at times, Gawn got off to a good start, first clearance. I think Jackson lifted and had an impact on the game as well. And Gawn's had 8 possessions. His ability to stay involved in the game post the contest is incredible, isn't it? And a lot of the time he's had 6 contested possessions, and that's been when the ball's hit the ground. Belying his 6'9" stature, so probably just in front at the moment. He's had 8. Jackson's had 5. A couple of score involvements each. It was the Dockers early, wasn't it? Really, that first 10 or so minutes. Yeah. You mentioned, Rammer, they controlled the footy. They jumped out, had about 30 or so more possessions, but then the D's, it just slowly started to turn. They started to get on top around the contest, and they're plus 14. That's a huge number. So that's red alert for a Dockers team who, we know what finals footy's all about, when, the ratio shifts from uncontested to contested, and it looked that way, didn't it? They started to win some 50-50s, Melbourne, behind the footy, where in the first 10 minutes, every time Freo went in, it looked like they were going to score. They started to win some contests ahead of the ball as well. Think about Windsor down here winning the 50-50, keeping his feet. That set up the Cozzy Pickett goal, winning the 50-50 in there. So really good effort from Melbourne, because all on the Dockers' terms in that first 15 minutes. One clearance, had field position, just started to get the arm wrestle back on their terms, and really they dominated the last 10 minutes. They had the last 6 inside 50s, and Freo were defending desperately. So great contest, and you just feel like it's going to be the course of the day, isn't it? Just momentum and good players having serious impact on the game.
Well, you look when both teams had their moment of dominance in that quarter. Fremantle's moment of dominance was through uncontested possession. Link up, use football, going inside forward 50, lower eyes. Melbourne's moments of domination when they kicked 4 in a row was through contested football. Getting around contest, outnumbering. Yep, okay, Mason Cox made a mistake inside Melbourne's forward 50 with the kick, but other than that, you look at Cozzy Pickett, contested ball there to be won, shouldn't have won it, goes and wins it. Caleb Windsor, just before that, wins a contest. So that's looks like the trend of the game. Fremantle want to play a run, carry, overlap, lower eyes game. Melbourne want to bring it in close. Let's see if Brayshaw and Sarong and Hayden Young can really match our guys, our midfielders, Jack Steele, Cozzy, what did we call him? Coltol, sorry.
Well, he's got he's been assigned, you can tell, he's been assigned Murphy Reid, and just watching it, a lot of the times teams, Murphy Reid will start at half forward, won't he, and then has the licence to come up the ground and almost play as a midfielder. Tolstra's coming with him for the majority of the time. Murphy Reid, you saw a couple of times, had to go way back into the defensive 50 to win his possession. So, and Tolstra himself has had 9 possessions and 2 inside 50. So that's a really interesting matchup as well.
Just one other one is that when football is in Melbourne's forward half, Fremantle is sending another to the contest. That's allowing McDonald or Lever to sit behind the ball. Even numbers up. The forwards are better than Melbourne's defenders.
Fremantle get the first clearance of this second term as Sarong gets it going forward. Bowie intercepts though. Handball away towards Sparrow. Gives it to Cozzy Pickett. Handball to Tolstra. Caught. Great tackle from Tracy.
That's what you want. That's what coaches talk about. We continue to press forward.
Well, careful.
There's a bit going on here as Tracy walks straight past Tolstrup. Tolstrup shot his head up in a hurry to almost react to something that was said. Tracy puts his hand up and says, yep, I'll have the footy. And then after a bit of push and shove, Tolstrup to draw a free on the mark.
That's why I love him. He's a bit of he's a feisty customer. I think he's been a bit lippy in that first quarter. So the Freo player's not missing the opportunity to put some body into him.
It's very close to the man on the mark. Tracy shoots goalward. It's good. It hasn't taken long. Less than a minute into the second term, and Josh Tracy puts Fremantle on top. 6-2 to 5-2. This is Saturday footy on ABC Sport, and there's plenty in this. Luke Ball and Adam Ramanauskas, the top 2 rated players on the ground at quarter time.
Jackson and Gawn.
Jackson 1, Gawn 2.
Yeah, not far behind Pickett and Shea Bolton too for Freo.
I always find that really interesting. Well, who's winning the matchup then?
Who would you say?
Scores are level, so neither of them. It's a nil. It's not a nil. It's a 9-all draw. Yeah, that's
nine-all
right.
round.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, I love that from Jackson because we don't see. For Tracy, we don't see many key forwards in the competition really have an appetite to defend.
Oh, I think he's
got a genuine appetite to defend.
The last one I remember tackling like him was Josh Kennedy from West Coast Eagles.
Yeah, that's a good call, Benny.
Restart in the middle, neither ruck decisive. Fitzgerald goes in for Melbourne, picks it up, gets rid of it. Away towards Sparrow. Brayshaw bursts onto the footy, gets it moving forward. He's caught, holding the ball. Fitzgerald, who's fitted in at AFL level like hand in glove.
Just a little out of sorts, Andy Brayshaw.
Fitzgerald goes... Sorry, Bully. Laterally to Jath, who pokes it on to Bowie. And it's just pushed over by Switkowski. 6 coaches' votes last week for Joel Fitzgerald. Pick 16 in the mid-season draft. Bowie from backward of the wing. Kicks up to a contest. Van Rooyen launching, coming through Pickett. He slaps it on. Jefferson bracketed by a couple of Dockers in the tackle. Ball up half forward here for Melbourne.
Up it goes. Half forward for the D's. As Ben mentioned, Gawn palms it down. Laurie can't trap it. Spills to Cozzy Pickett through it short. Right in front of the umpire. No whistle on the play. Erasmus intercepts. Handball to Sarong. Handball to Young. Big sweeping polyfarmer hand pass. Away to McVee. The 1-2 with Jackson. McVee keeps it moving. Sweeps a handball onto Switkowski. Dabs a kick inside 50 and Frederick marks uncontested. He's got an option closer to goal. It's Voss.
That is stunning football.
That's at their best. No, that's a link that I was talking about at quarter time there. All year they've been doing it. They get so much run from their half-back line. When you've got Jackson as a ruckman being able to join in, you virtually play as a spare if you're a ruckman that can join in.
To finish off the passage, Voss hooks it through. The way the game should be played. Voss has got a third. And Fremantle off the back flank through the corridor and onto the scoreboard. 7-2 to 5-2, 4 minutes into the second term. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
So what happens there, because you've got Jackson joining in, it's an out number. So then your defenders have to come up. They have to keep pressing forward. And it's just one after the other.
Again, no, I don't want to harp on it, Benny. The handball from Young.
Outstanding.
Just magnificent. And Judd McVee caught one, actually. Just watching, who was it? Maybe Jake Bowie after he handballed it.
I think the thing with the leapfrog, Benny, is you've got to give it. Because if you don't give it, the next time that play just won't present because you just go, well, he's not going to give me the handball, so I'm just not going to bother.
Plenty of cases, plenty of teams providing that example at the moment.
Gawn taps it down to Sparrow, who backfeeds a handball for Pickett. They're under pressure here, the D's. Jackson goes in and picks it up. Gawn strips him of it in the tackle, comes out to Fitzgerald, who gives it to Sparrow. High kick to half forward for Melbourne. Roving Chandler does it beautifully. Off to Windsor, lifts the handball inside 50. Warner gets back there for the Dockers. Laurie goes in, pinches it back. Still scrapping for it, Laurie. Eventually spits out the handball to Erasmus. And Fremantle with it through Cox. And then away to O'Driscoll. Bullet pass finds a presenting Tracy on the back flank.
Puts a fair bit of hang time in the kick. Brayshaw got a camp underneath it. Sparrow right there with him. Puts in the spoil close to the boundary line. They see it out. Ray Chamberlain on the boundary. Razor.
Yeah, Bawley, you were referencing the McVee and Bowie contest in the middle of the ground. Bowie braced for contact, didn't leave the ground, didn't step off his line and just got him, I reckon, winded him.
Thrown on the wing. Warn wing side of the ground. The old southern side. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Jackson brings it to the front. They scrap after it. Dockers players with their arms out asking umpire Hayden Meyer what he thought of it. Just a ball up. We'll do it again. Jackson taps it down. Cozzy takes it. Wrapped up by Jackson and holding the ball. The old housemates used to live with the Brayshaws when they first arrived at Melbourne.
Host family.
Yeah, Jackson, Cozzy and also Trent Rivers. I remember we spoke to Mark Brayshaw about it, Corbin. He said, look, we offered to take one. I said, can you take two? He said, in for a penny, in for a pound, we'll take all three. As the kick goes up to half forward and a free kick going the way of Tracy.
It's a shared heritage between these two clubs too, not just the guys that are out there on the ground, but throughout history. I'll give you a few little examples. The Dockers have a lot against Melbourne.
Tracy kicks into the pocket, and Amos trailing in the pack. He takes the mark as he falls to ground deep in the left forward pocket. Very acute angle. Fremantle already leading by 12. He'll try to extend that out to an equal game high.
Long side for a left footer. What's he do? He's one of the rare few.
Check side.
He's going to go a check side, do you think, or will he back himself to kick it straight? He's
a real drop.
Already hit one nicely today, hasn't he, at this end?
He's a drop punt loyalist.
Yep.
Looks like he's going with the drop punt. Jai Amos, short approach, drop punt, pure. Threads it. 2 for him, and Fremantle back out by an equal game high lead. 3 goals neat. 8-2-50 plays, 5-2-32. 7 played second term.
Oh, we love that 2-runner. That's a beautiful kick. That's, dare I say it, he's got a bit of Ed Lloyd about his kicking style. I think maybe model it on him, but like a player just to back himself to go back and kick it straight.
Would be a good idea if you're a left footer. I think Lloydie kicked it at about 70% when he was right at his peak.
Playing at Docklands though, no wind.
That's serious, that pocket.
I was just saying that.
Just big contest wins, wasn't it, from their big players there? Jackson with the holding the ball. Tracy playing in front, winning the free kick, and then wasn't a great kick, was it? But smart forwards playing in front.
Little milestone for Giant Amos as well. So 50 goals in a year for the first time. He becomes the first Docker there with Tracy close behind him. Gawn grabs it out of the ruck, kicks inside the forward 50, spills to Laurie, handball to Pickett, hunches the back, Pickett on the run, misses. Geez, a thriller minute, Cozzy Pickett to watch play. Just evaded the tackle with that arch to the back, and yet never broke stride, didn't slow down at all. A 17-point lead for Fremantle, just needed the finish. 8 minutes gone in the second term. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
Short kick in from McVie, away to Cox, who sends the Dockers to the wing, and Chankoff Jaff reaches up and marks over Dudley. And here's diminutive Isaiah Dudley. So Jaff sends the Demons back inside 50. Petty launching, hands to it. McVie roves the pack. Dockers ball back pocket. Hurries a kick. It hits Luke Ryan. Ricochets away. O'Driscoll takes it. Tackled out by Fitzgerald. Ray Chamberlain on the boundary.
Yeah, a bit of action down here on the Fremantle interchange bench. Hayden Young has been having a lot of attention to that left hamstring. He's currently had a chat with the doctor and he's going through some testing now.
Well, that's not good. And we're right in the danger zone as you sort of get to round 22.
There's no wriggle room anymore.
He's playing back-to-back games today for the first time since round 16 and 17. Round 17 he got hurt again as the Demons from the stoppage poke it back inside 50. Pickett manages to link up with Petty, takes the sprawling mark against the boundary line at right half forward. So just on that Hayden Young history, back-to-back games, first time since round 16-17. Round 17 he got hurt against the Giants. At that stage, against the Giants, he was playing his 4th straight game. The most continuous games he played in 2 years. 2024 was the last time he's played more than 4 in a row. So he's played, missed on this run. And now he's playing back-to-back games and getting his hammy looked at again. Hayden Young as his soft tissue worries present again. Petty's got a tough kick here in the sunshine, right half forward, 48 metres out. It's not tough for him. He does it with ease and he celebrates by rubbing his bald spot. Just a hand on top of the box to celebrate, to let Paddy Boss and the Dockers know all about it. His range unlimited, Harrison Petty. And he sees the funny side of that. 8-2-50. Melbourne 6-3-39, draw within 11 points. It's all smiles for the moment. Luke Ball, Adam Ramones.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not sure about that one.
Anyway, it's a lovely kick, and it's interesting. Ramones looking at Cozzy Pickett.
Not sure about the celebration.
Nah.
Why not? What don't you like?
Just get on with it, I think.
It's clearly still present for him. I mean, he's presented today like a guy that's playing on edge.
The chip on his shoulder, just a Cozzy Pickett now. Just starting to look a little bit too dangerous for Justin Longmuir's liking. I think this quarter, up to 5 possessions, 2 score involvements.
Both rucks share it in the middle. Sarong the first to get there, but Steele works him out of the frame, and it's picked up by Fitzgerald. So Demons ball again. Kicks Slews off the side of the boot, up towards half forward. Salem can't take the mark. Sharp coming through, roves it, drives it deep. It's on target. It's a goal. Sharp finish from Harry. What out, high half forward, if you don't mind.
Folks will love that.
Fremantle by 5 points. What is Wayne going to say now? 8:250 plays 7:3:45. Saturday footy on ABC.
Hopefully he's not stuck at the cafe still, Benny. Just up on the lake there. So, look at the sharp work there. So Salem's contested it. Great little one grab, and we're talking 55 metres out there, Harry Sharp. So, terrific finish. Jumping McVee just lost all contact with him. Sharp stayed to the front of the contest. McVee went to the back of the contest, put it on the boot, and it didn't just go through, went directly through the middle.
Yeah.
Great response by the D's.
D's right back in it again. And second time in the game where Fremantle felt like they had it at breaking point, and Melbourne have responded with a chain of goals. They've kicked 2 on the bounce here. Less than a kick in it. Still no clean takeaway out the middle. Johnson spun around. Handball gets to Clark. He's caught. Crowd actively involved.
Yeah,
handball to Johnson. Sarong gang tackle. Ball up in the middle. Oh, they're into it, Razor.
If there was any umpires eyeballing a grand final in the game, that bloke, just so you know.
Up it goes. Jackson palms it down. Fitzgerald had it, lost it. Dudley steals it for Fremantle, gets a handball over halfway. Oh, Tracy throws his weight around, clears out Steele, and a ball up in the middle.
He wants a piece of it, doesn't he, the big fella? He said, it's a hot footy, give me a piece of it.
Freo by 5 points, 13 minutes into the second.
Jackson palms it down for Bolton, tries to break away from Sharp, eventually does. A little zigzag slalom route. Now he kicks inside 50. Cox comes to the footy. No mark. The Pigeons, they fly away. Get out of harm's way as it's gathered by Langford. Back to Jat. Snaps up to the wing. Petty's there. Going against Brennan Cox and taps it out of play. Throw in between wing and half forward. So Simon Meredith, you were talking about Ray Chamberlain, the best umpire in the game in your belief?
Best decision maker in the game. No one's infallible, but he does it the best. And that passage of play, that's on brand. No need for any intervention there. Let him play.
He's your best mate as well, yeah?
I've got no mates, mate.
Cracking game of footy.
On the payroll, Ray.
Jackson palms it down to Reed, who's tackled straight away. Ball up between wing and half forward for Fremantle. Gone. Knocks it clear of the stoppage. Fremantle will be first ones there, though. O'Driscoll and Clark both tried to pick it up. Clark collects, dribbled in the tackle by Fritsch. Says,
Melbourne have just dragged this game back into a contest again. So Fremantle got away early in this quarter with skill, run, link, carry. Now it's just tightened right back up into a contest.
5-point game. Pickett comes in.
No, that hurt him too.
With a big spear, Roman Reigns just going straight at the waist of Andy Brayshaw, and it's taken the wind out of him.
He has.
We got a stoppage here on the wing, and Simon Meredith, this will put him to task trying to sort it out. Brayshaw,
what does he do here? Yeah. So we've seen that this year especially, haven't we? Regardless of whether it's a head knock or not, just the player safety taking precedence.
He should have to come off, though. I think we can all agree that.
Well, he just came on. He's having that sort of day, Andy Brayshaw.
But if the doctor treats you and holds up play.
So much for part of the family having been billeted by Andy's parents is because he snaps it up towards half forward. Jefferson takes it, gives it off towards Sparrow, who chips it to Fritsch.
Geez, I thought that was the wrong option. Sparrow had Sharp, central, inside forward 50. Went to virtually the 2-on-2. And just Fritsch was able to take the mark. I like the hands by Jefferson there. Hasn't been involved much, Matthew Jefferson, to start this game. That was a good little passage.
This match has had some twists and turns already.
That was his first possession, Ramo.
Yep.
You're right, though, but made it a good one.
Wearing arguably the club's most famous number, Bailey Fritsch, left foot drop punt. Never looked like missing. And Melbourne lead this ball game again. 8-3-51 plays, 8-2-50. A fifth lead change of the match. Quarter hour mark, second term, Luke Ball and Adam Ramanaskas.
Well, the crowd's involved, Remy. You can feel it, can't you? I don't know what the number is, but we're right next to the MCC, but all the way around to the punt road end goals. They are riding the emotion here, and their team's responding. And really, that was off the back of, it's just been off the back of pressure, as you said. So contest and pressure, the Melbourne of old. Cosy Pickett leading the way there. Tom Sparrow involved. Young Fitzgerald's doing his part. Three in a row back over the Dockers.
I think Fremantle need to put a bit of time into Cozzy Pickett.
Yep.
So he's sort of running around doing what he wants at the moment without an opponent.
East by one, back in the middle.
Here he is again.
Steele knocks it out towards Van Rooyen. Handball to Cozzy. Handball goes back to Tolstrup. Hand pass comes wide to the wing. Melbourne win it through Rivers. Kicks to half forward. Oh, Windsor trying to take in the one-hander unsuccessfully. Keeps it alive. Knocks it back in the field of play. Got it at half forward. Kicks it straight into Ryan. Ricochets back into the corridor. Brayshaw knocks it away straight to Van Rooyen. Handball to Cozzy. Handball to Bowie. Bowie drifting forward. He goals too. Oh, the D's aren't just hanging with the ladder leaders. They've come to win today. And Melbourne out by 7 points. 9-3-57 to Fremantle 8-2-50. And the Demons have kicked 4 on the bounce. They're pouring them in. 17 gone in the second term. The Demons by 7.
But taste of their own medicine, isn't it? It's not Wolfie time. What is it? Is it Demon time, Devil time? It's an absolute tsunami at the moment. This is unbelievable from Melbourne, and you're right, around you're circling. They are just dominating the contest. We said at a quarter time they were plus 14. Well, it's more of the same.
Wow.
Plus 10 already for the quarter.
They're getting beaten up,
surge, isn't it?
They're getting beaten up around contest.
Yeah, Windsor winning the one-on-one here against Warner.
So Fremantle, they just want to play a nice, clean game. Melbourne are up for the fight.
Cox taps it down. Van Rooyen, who's in the ruck, takes it, gets it. He's moving forward again to half forward, and they tackle quickly.
And make no mistake, opposition will be looking at this going, okay, we can beat up Fremantle around the ball. Maybe that's a bit of an Achilles heel.
Cox palms it down, it spills out to McVie, who gives it off to Warner. Left foot snap up towards the wing. Bowie goes up, doesn't take the mark, follows up at ground level. Salem, handball away to Langdon. Back to Salem, D's forward of the wing. Off to Windsor. Centering kick inside 50. Cox is there.
Wow.
That's
strong
defensive mark, and he gets the G's.
Yeah, good idea.
Gives it off to Warner.
Hesitation, trying to get the kick away, dropped the footy, still somehow got it out to O'Driscoll. Freo on the back flank. Hayden Young's back out there, by the way. Young on the ground. Pickett drops the intercept mark. Spills out to Steele. Was he taken high? No whistle. Pack forms. Now he's in trouble on the ball.
Cozzy let it, as good as he's been, he let him off the hook there.
Yeah, dropped the mark.
They look a bit rattled here.
Absolutely.
The pressure, Benny.
Yep. Warner, O'Driscoll.
They are in a dogfight around the footy, and they're losing that at the moment.
And this is where Brayshaw and Sarong have got to go to work now.
Yep. Who are your leaders?
Young goes wide to Warner. Warner, hesitation again. Having to kick a hurried ball down to half forward. Camped underneath to Johnson, takes the mark. Between wing and half forward. McVie calling for it, corridor. Ignores him initially, heads to him now. Short kick got to McVie on the half volley. 70 metres out, kicks inside 50. Van Rooyen there to take the intercept mark in the back pocket. D's with it, they're up by 7 points. Time on in this second.
Dangerous kick, Johnson breaks it up, but Tolstrup there to clean up the mess on the back flank for the D's. Handball to Langdon. Handball misses its target. Sparrow goes and gathers.
Great hands.
Sweeping handball releases Windsor. He's off and running down the Warren wing. One bounce and a second. He can think about a third. He'll chip it inside 50. Jefferson's on the end of it. 49 metres out, 1 metre in field. He'll centre it towards the top of the goal square. And strong mark from Erasmus. Not the man you'd expect. Fullback for the Dockers. Stands tall to mark. Going heads up with Harvey Langford. Melbourne by 7. Time on second term.
Neil. And that's Neil Erasmus, goes along with the kick up to half-back. Amos spills the mark, comes down to Steele of the D's, hands it to Rivers. Short kick touched on the way through. Fritsch has got to move it. Fritsch caught high. Free kick for Bailey.
I was watching the umpire there. I think a couple of decisions went through his head. Maybe holding the ball, maybe too high.
Fritsch hands it off to Rivers. He left it behind. Ryan comes and gets him. It's high again. Ryan's done the same thing twice in the same spot on the ground, and a free kick again for the D's at left half forward. We'll get ready to chime in on what you just said, Rammer, in just a moment as Rivers, effortlessly, kicks it 60 metres through for a long range behind. Melbourne by 8 points. Ray Chamberlain on the boundary.
Yeah, fundamentally, when it comes to tackling, before you can do anything else, it's got to be legal. So can't play holding the ball there.
No. So right call both times?
Very much so.
That's right.
Wanted to take the kick in for the Dockers. Set it up in the Cox direction. Amos is there as well. The D's come across, spoil it down. Amos Wins it. Handball back to Ryan, who tries to break a line. Handball to Young. Off towards Brayshaw. Under pressure here, the Dockers. Melbourne bringing the heat. Young back to Cox. Kicks laterally across the halfback line for Heath Chapman. And he'll poke it out wide to the wing in a bit of space for Johnson.
I'll get back down the road in a moment. I'm interested in the definition of a legal. What's legal in attack?
Melbourne by 8 points as Johnson moves it to McVeigh, gives it back to Johnson, who gets around one, lifts the handball looking for Murphy Reid, overshoots him. Steele gets involved for Melbourne. Handball not great. Sarong tries to win it for the purple, does. Handball to Murphy Reid. Here's his slick to O'Driscoll and now Brayshaw.
Brayshaw, big sweeping hand pass laterally, finds Switkowski, front edge of the centre square, dabs it inside 50, Erasmus in the vicinity, gets out the back, big tackle on Amos in the pocket, ball comes out, I was waiting for a call, there wasn't one, ball up, Ray Chamberlain.
Yeah, Ramos, so you can't tackle him in the back, you can't tackle him without it, you can't tackle him high, that's the guts of it.
Can't tackle him too low, can't tackle him too high. From the ball up, Mason Cox palms it out of bounds.
But in all honesty, today out of the game, the thing that's got me probably most triggered is a fail of umpire intervention for players tackling from front on, particularly when the player's on the ground, they're just plopping on their heads. I think it's a real stain on the game, quite frankly.
Time on second term, Melbourne by 8. Boundary throw-in. Forward 50 for the Dockers, but Melbourne win it. Steele, handball away to Windsor. He gives it to Rivers on the back flank, kicks down the wing, Fritsch in a tangle, advantage applied. Sparrow takes it, kicks laterally, and finds Langford in front of the benches.
Langford trying to shrug Erasmus off him. Melbourne by 8 points. Langford's kick towards the attacking arc. Petty and Brennan Cox, and it's the latter who marks. Goes Fremantle to just settle it down. D's by 8 points. 23 minutes played in this second term. Exiting kick finds O'Driscoll, a late closing Gawn. Noddy will just chip it back to Ryan. And Ryan will switch it and try out the southern side Fremantle. Chapman marks, he can look towards the wing now. That's where he heads and finds Johnson.
Johnson looks corridor to Murphy Reid. Hasn't had a huge impact on the game so far. Hand pass back to Johnson. 70 out, kicks into the pocket. Amos got upstairs.
It was actually
free. Unrealistic attempt.
No,
other way. Pushing the back.
There's a hand in the back. It's going to go to Amos.
I thought it was because he took out Lever in the marking contest.
But I think he took him out because he had his his launch at the footy just impeded a little bit.
It's a favourable
big call. Yep.
Amos is going to get it left forward pocket shot at goal for the Dockers.
Opportunity just to relieve what's been just a mountain of pressure over the last 10 minutes from the Demons.
If only we had a near 400 game umpire, we could sort of get a second opinion on that, and an adjudicator. Get down to Ray after this kick from Jai Amos. He's kicked one already from that pocket. Ordinarily a tough one for a left footer.
He's hit the well.
Him. Straight through it goes. Amos's tally grows. He's up to 3, and he's 51st for the year. There's one Fremantle needed. Brings it back to a 2-point game. Melbourne on top, 9-4 to 9-2. 25 goal in second term. How'd you see it, Ray?
Yeah, the guts of it isn't a marking contest. You can protect the space, but you can't create the space by the hands in the back, okay? So as this ball comes in and we see on the replay, the question is, does that action create the space? And I don't think it does. I think it's very minimal contact. It has no impact on a miss, and I think play-on's the appropriate call.
Well, they take the half.
They needed it.
Yeah,
they needed it, Fremantle, just to steady this game back down a little bit. Melbourne, you felt like momentum, contest, hardness, scoreboard they were attacking. So against the flow, certainly that one for the Dockers.
First goal in 17 minutes for Freo. Out of the middle, Bolton trying to bounce it to himself. It doesn't come back. Loses possession. Sparrow harassed by Brayshaw. Hurries a kick to half forward for Melbourne. Cleverly tapped on by Steele. Windsor gathers. Petty taps that on. Laurie likes the look of it and kicks it. It's all happening at the MCG. He's got 3. 10-4-64, plays 9-2-56. Melbourne by 8 points, 26 minutes into their second term.
It's a great example of what's happening, Bremer, isn't it? So Fremantle win the footy, and Shea Bolton, who's been one of their best, whether he just felt a bit of pressure or perceived pressure, goes to bounce it, makes the mistake, and then they pounce and they make them pay. And we know that's a modern game, isn't it? You've got to be able to punish off turnover.
Just a bit of surge there, Baldy, I think, from Melbourne. So it wasn't pretty, certainly, to get into that scoring position. But once they found the mistake or forced the mistake out of Bolton, they just pushed the ball forward. Virtually pushed the ball forward 50 metres.
Been good, Laurie, hasn't he?
Yeah.
A real impact.
3 goals in the first half.
Jackson grabs it out of the ruck, got it to Murphy Reid, who turns and kicks casually to centre half forward. Young reaching forward, Tracy with a real purchase stands in front of the pack and rips it down.
Sure, there's not much more you can do. Just go Turner there. Sometimes you just got to dip your lead.
He just puts the arms wide, gets the base wide, and just says, "Well, try get around me."
Yeah.
Then puts those hands up and
Heard about the Pat Moss Academy and get in early on main training days and do a heap of extra touch to work on their marking, and that's the outcome.
Yeah. No secret, kids.
True centre half forward, Josh Tracy gives it a whack and through it goes. Goal 50 for the year for Josh Tracy. A new milestone in his career, which is up and to the right. 28 minutes into the second term, Fremantle within 2 again, 10-2 to 10-4. Gee, we got a good one going at the G. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
And I say that there's no secret. You've got to remember Tracy started on the rookie list. So you just go and do the work. You know, he's done the work, and now he's getting the rewards as probably one of the best key forwards in the competition. So you look at that marking contest, and Bally mentioned it, Daniel Turner could not have done much more as a defender, but that's countless hours of repetition in marking contests at training where Tracy can hold his ground, hold his position, hold his opponent off, and still mark the ball one grab.
Two guys that have kicked 50 goals now and another that's kicked 38.
Gawn taking it out of the ruck, gives it off to Fitzgerald, who runs away from them. He'll just wait a kick inside 50, and Petty runs onto it. Where were they hiding Joel Fitzgerald? As Petty will go back and kick for goal from about 45 metres out on slightly better than a 45-degree angle.
Just looks like a 100-game player, doesn't he, Joel Fitzgerald? I mean, he's a mature age, we know that. He actually turns 23 today.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday. Not a bad way to spend your 23rd birthday.
Yeah. Taking candles.
On the G.
On tonight.
Front shining on the G.
With all due respect, Pete's playing for Williamstown. It's step up.
Harry Petty stutters in, puts his laces through it, and hits the woodwork. Isn't it 3 posters now for the D's? I think it is.
Might be a bit cold down the bay today at Williamstown.
Yeah, the waves crashing on the base of the stadium, basically. Or not quite a stadium, is it? The ground. Melbourne by 3 points, 29 minutes into their second term.
Sharp, Fritsch and Petty all with posters today. 3-point lead for the Demons. Again with 5 lead changes. The Dockers have led by a game high 18 points on 2 separate occasions. Young with the short kick to Clark. Dockers out of defence now. Clark straight up the pipe. Dangerous kick. Turner flying for it. This to compete with Max for the footy. And pack forms underneath him. The ump says, I'll have it. Ball up centre half forward for the Dockers. Good game of footy. Both teams have kicked 5 goals in each quarter so far. 2 points in it just before, 3 points in it just before half time. Fitzgerald squeezes the kick away. Comes out towards the wing. Sharp toe poke out in front. Almost sits up for him. McDonald grabs the jumper.
That almost should be a 50-metre penalty.
He just wanted it more. He started 2 metres behind Erasmus then.
That was just
ran straight past him.
Free kick.
Easy decision. Sharp races away. Kicks inside 50. There's Brennan Cox.
It's a good contest, isn't it? The two bald heads. It's a really good contest.
Brennan Cox retreats back with a kick to Reid, and Reid to Ryan. Left back pocket for Fremantle.
Reid moves it on to Ryan and then onto Chapman. Back flank. Oh, Chapman wants to go a dangerous switch and gets it back to Cox. So Melbourne by 3. Fremantle just chip it around. Cox to his great mate Ryan and then on to Oscar McDonald. A few cheers, try to rise up around the MCG. He'll kick up towards the wing. Voss will fly out at Gorm behind him. Hands to it, not paid the mark. Comes down for Sparrow. Hurries a kick inside 50. Petty manages to halve it. Murphy Reid bursts onto it. Dockers ball again. Cox the handball to Warner, overruns it. Little fumble, drags it in. Umpire says, let me have it.
It's AFL footy, isn't it? Best game of his career last week. Carl Warner just been caught a couple of times, a little bit fumbly today.
Oh, just whacks it clear of the area on that occasion as it goes deep forward for the Demons. Nice bit of work from Gawn, but Fremantle come up with it. And their clearing kick, just a get out of here kick from Luke Ryan up to the middle of the ground. Bowie leaps up for it. Ball gets out the back though. And Voss paddles it to his own advantage. Runs onto it, Paddy Voss. 60 out. Unguarded goal square. He's on with the running, Paddy Voss. Celebration time. Kicks his fourth from a long way out. And everybody wants to get in the high five chain. Patrick Voss reaches top speed post goal. 11-2 to 10-5. And Fremantle are back in front. Right on half-time. Lead change number 6. The Dockers by 3 points.
It's a great goal, isn't it? I mean, we get distracted by the celebration, but that is a brilliant goal. He's a serious athlete, isn't he? Yeah. That's the beauty they've got. You're right. You mentioned Tracy's want and desire to chase and tackle and do the hard stuff. Well, Voss is in the same boat. And what a game he's playing. 4 first-half goals. It's been a bit quieter this quarter.
One thing for certain is that Jake Lever can't go with Paddy Voss with the pace.
Jackson winning the tap down, but it's Gawn who goes and follows up. We've called that a few times today. Can't control it though. Sarong can. Hurries a kick into the pocket. Bouncing ball. Turner gets there first. Handball away to Tolstrup. Back to Bowie. Bowie snaps around the boundary line. Fitzgerald and Sarong contest it. Neither can mark. They both go at ground level and the umpire circles and wants to ball it up.
It's a good response from the Dockers, Rammer. They look right under the pump, but they're steady, and they're going to go to half-time with the lead.
What a half of football. It will be the Dockers leading by 3 points. 11-2-68 plays 10-5-65. The goal kickers, Voss with 4, Amos with 3, Tracy with 2. Amos and Tracy have both gone past 50 goals for the season today. Switkowski and Dudley, the other goal kickers, while for Melbourne. 3 to Bailey Laurie, then it's Bowie, Sharp, Fritsch, Sparrow, Petty, Pickett and Chandler to the half.
6 lead changes, 5 goals to 5 goals in the opening quarter, and then in the second term, 6 goals to 5. Fremantle's way, you throw it all together, as Ben said, a 3-point advantage for the Dockers at half-time. Everything we hoped there would be to this stage of the afternoon. Standalone Saturday afternoon footy at the G. Great to have you with us here on ABC Sport. Couple off the SMS before we hear the thoughts of Bawley and Rammer. Dom from Faulkner, D's fan here off to the G for the blockbuster. Good to see the likely grand finalists in person. Good to see Freo too. I see what you've done there, Dom. Big D's man. From Darren. Darren says Range Rover time. Perhaps
I think that was when Bawley said Wolfie time, yeah.
Wolfie time. So
what would Melbourne's answer to
I knew we'd get some nominations on that front.
Like it.
Marcus, down behind the goals at the City end. Looking at the crowd today, I suspect there is as many Dockers fans here as Demons. There you go. So a lot of purple towards the City end of the ground. Appreciate that, Marcus. Maybe not quite from where we sit. There's plenty of D's.
There's enough, though. Yeah,
in and around the members. My man Frank from the MCC tells me 38 to 40,000.
Let's get over 40.
If
you're in the area, come and watch the second half.
Frank did say to me the estimate is actually 38, but he believes over 40, and I take his word for it. Kylie from Daysdale off the SMS. Prediction, Freo to exit finals in straight sets on today's performance. Gee, Kylie, it's a little harsh. Pete from Ballarat. Melbourne will beat Freo today. Freo are fragile. They go on runs of not scoring or missing shots entirely. They've been getting away with inaccuracy against average sides from Pete in Ballarat. So there's a little taste on what we're getting off the SMS. You can give your thoughts too. 0437 774 774. We've seen a cracking game of footy. You can't argue that. It's Fremantle by 3 points at the half. Adam Ramanauskas, Luke Ball.
Well, you certainly can't. It's 21 goals in a half of football and very accurate kicking by both teams. Again, we'll harp on it. You look at that second quarter, Melbourne plus 9 contested possessions, Fremantle plus 11 uncontested possessions. So contrasting styles of what they want to do. Melbourne keep it in close. Let's bash Fremantle up in tight. Let's surge the ball forward. Let's make it a fight and a scrap. Fremantle want to play a really clean game. You know that's evident perfectly there by Paddy Voss's last last goal. Luke Ryan just blasted that ball outside defensive 50. But then Fremantle numbers to the contest, and it's clean out. When it's a clean out, that's where Melbourne defenders have struggled. I mentioned Jake Lever and the Voss matchup. You can't go with him in a running race at all. So he's having to stay behind him and protect goal side as much as he possibly can. Voss gets goal side of Lever for that last contest on centre wing, and he's away, kicks a 60-metre goal, and the prancing pony is out. He's at the crowd, and you love that as a teammate when you see a player in your team drive energy like that. It becomes contagious, really becomes contagious. So they needed that. Bally mentioned the response from Fremantle late. They got the last 2 goals of that quarter just to steady it down, just to obviously take a lead into half time. But I think if you're Justin Longmuir, it's, hey guys, we need to go back to work. Contested football for the half is Melbourne plus 24.
Clearing, isn't it?
That's a big number there. The other number that stuck out in that second quarter was centre bounce clearance. Melbourne 8-3 in that quarter. So whether it's Gawn, whether it's Van Rooyen, but to me it's Cozzy Pickett. Now Cozzy Pickett will say he hasn't had any clearances in that quarter, but he's the next receiver, and that's where I think Fremantle are breaking down a little bit. It's okay. We'll get to the first guy who takes the football, but then it's the second receiver, and if that's Pickett, he's away with a clean and clear possession. So I think Fremantle just need to have a look at their setup. So what piece of the pie in the centre square do they want to own? Now, Gawn's getting over the top of Jackson, I think. So Gawn's jumping early and then pushing Jackson off the line of his football. So maybe Jackson needs to completely rethink his starting point in centre bounce. Look, terrific half of football, 2 genuine contenders. If you come to the MCG today or you're watching at home on the television or listening to us on the radio, I think you go to halftime pretty excited what the second half could bring.
What was it, quarter time rankings, Corby, where Jackson 1, Gawn 2 in the heavyweight bout? Well, they've moved down to 2 and 4, so they're still top 5 players on the ground. It's interesting, like Tracy and Voss have been huge, haven't they? And that three-prong attack, and even Amos has had his moments.
I think Tracy didn't have a touch until, 15, 16 minutes into the game when he kicked that ball to Switkowski that led to the Fremantle goal.
Yeah, and look, at his first moment in that quarter was from a defensive action, wasn't it? The chase down tackle, and he gets the goal off the back of that. So, look, that's why he's having such a terrific year, and yeah, I'm with you, Ram. Really impressive from Fremantle then. I mean, they jumped out. Melbourne's 10-minute period there where they had the crowd involved. Their pressure rating was through the roof, and you felt, geez, Freo are going to do well just to hold up here. When you saw it, you saw some defenders, some more inexperienced players having some moments where they really felt the pressure, and Melbourne were able to capitalise off it. But just to be able to steady in that last 5 or 6 minutes of that quarter, I think shows a really good sign that this team is maturing, and they're just so well served all across the ground. Certainly forward of the ball, it's such a strength that they've got to call on those players to have moments when they have. So that contested possession differential, though, that really needs to be addressed. I'm sure that will be absolutely highlighted by Justin Longmuir, and that'll be in lights on the whiteboard at half-time, Corby, because that's not sustainable. Negative, was it minus 24 in a half a footy? They'd want to arrest that in this second half, or Melbourne will stick around. And they've shown, haven't they? They've looked dangerous, Melbourne, when they've gone forward as well. So, great half of footy, as good as I can remember for a little while, Corb.
I mentioned the milestone men in that first half, so 50 goals in the year for both Amos and Tracy. Amos with 3 now up to 51, and Tracy with a couple gets him to 50. Only twice in history Fremantle have had multiple guys kick 50 goals in the same year. The most recent example was back in 2006. Any guesses on who the combination was?
Pavlich and...
Jack Anthony.
No.
What was the question again, sorry?
50 goals in a year.
Yeah.
Fremantle having 2 in the same season. So Pabs won, 2006. Who's the other guy?
Jeff Farmer?
The Wiz, yeah. The Wiz counts. And then the year 2000 was the other example. 2 unique players, 50 goals in the same season. for Fremantle.
Modra.
Mod's one.
That's only Modra, yeah.
And
Clive Waterhouse.
Clive.
I didn't think Clive would have got that.
There we go. So Clive and Mods with so then Amos and Tracy become the latest duo. Maybe they can get a third in there, depending on the way Paddy Voss is going. He's up to 39.
39. That's the profile, isn't it? Of you think about the Brisbane, team, the dynasty that's building. They've had multiple players over 30 goals for the year.
I'd like the record to show that Jack Anthony kicked 50 goals in a season for Collingwood in 2009, which I did look at recently, which is why that name popped into my head.
Not sure that was the question, though.
No, it wasn't. I got it wrong, badly wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for an excuse.
Oh, I'm just stating the obvious. You had a go at me earlier today.
Correct.
Yeah.
No, it was bad.
Here we go.
Really bad.
Second half coming up. It's been exactly the first half we wanted so far. Fremantle by 3 points at half time. More of your thoughts on the SMS in just a moment, but for now, let's take the latest from the ABC Newsroom.
ABC News with Satyam Weinstein. Thailand's Prime Minister is vowing to strengthen the country's gun laws after a school shooting left at least 7 people dead. Authorities say the 14-year-old gunman killed his grandparents before opening fire at a school outside of Bangkok and taking his own life. At least 30 people were wounded in the attack on Friday, with 9 believed to be in a critical condition. This student at the school survived the shooting and describes the scene.
It started getting more frequent, like bang, 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 and then it went quiet at one point. Then the shooting started again. I didn't think it was the sound of a gun. After that, we went to the toilet. We thought it was over. I walked over when a teacher shouted, "Quickly, run here. He's gone to building 4, so we had to run."
Foreign Affairs Minister Penny Wong says the federal government welcomes the confirmation of David Bratt as the next US ambassador to Australia. She says he'll find Australia to be a warm host and a good friend. The former Republican congressman was nominated by US President Donald Trump for the position, left vacant following the departure of Caroline Kennedy in 2024. Senator Wong says the government shares Mr. Bratt's priorities of critical minerals, defence cooperation and partnership in the Indo-Pacific, and together they'll strengthen the US-Australian alliance. Federal Infrastructure Minister Catherine King says Air Services Australia needs to do better at managing disruptions, with Sydney Airport facing flight delays for the 3rd day in a row. Air Services Australia says it's working to address rostering issues in the air traffic control tower, causing delays across domestic and international flights. Ms. King says she's expecting nearly 100 new air traffic controllers to be endorsed this year. The Melbourne Royal Show says it's having discussions with Victorian authorities on whether its bird exhibits can go ahead in September after an increase in the number of bird flu cases. Sasha Payne reports.
The Melbourne Royal Show's bird exhibits are in doubt after the state government ordered Victorian poultry producers to house their birds. It will apply to poultry owners with 50 or more birds in metropolitan Melbourne, coastal areas and some neighbouring areas. It's part of moves to prevent the spread of H5N1. There are now 47 cases of the deadly flu in Victoria. In a statement, show organisers say the health and welfare of animals, exhibitors and visitors is its #1 priority, and is working closely with Agriculture Victoria, the Melbourne Royal Poultry Committee and vet advisors to assess the potential risks as the situation unfolds.
BHP workers at port operations in WA's Pilbara region are preparing to go on strike this weekend amid a long-running pay dispute. Today, unionised workers are refusing to loops before they walk off the job on Sunday. It's the second strike in just over 3 weeks. The industrial action follows drawn-out bargaining discussions between the company and 3 unions. Aboriginal business advocates are talking up the sector's size and contribution to the NT economy. The Northern Territory's Indigenous Business Network says modelling shows black businesses added $3.4 billion to the NT economy last financial year, representing 10.1% of all economic activity. Network CEO Naomi Enstes says the modelling is a first from the NT and shows Indigenous-owned businesses are a growth engine for the local economy.
We are one of the largest driving forces of the economy. We are on par with the public sector and defence in terms of our contribution to GTP, gross territory product. That only puts us behind resources, and if we were to reach our potential, we would outperform the resources sector.
There's a flood watch in place for 10 catchments across Victoria amid fears heavy rain could cause flooding across parts of the northeast, Gippsland and central Victoria from late Sunday and into early next week. A powerful winter cold front's causing a broad band of rain and strong winds to sweep across southern Australia. The Bureau of Meteorology's Sarah Scully says the rain will start to develop through the western parts of Victoria this afternoon before becoming more substantial tomorrow.
Look, it is going to be very wet and windy. It can create quite dangerous driving conditions. So just for people to take care on the roads and to keep an eye out for any warnings that are issued.
And Canberra Raiders winger Xavier Savage says the return of Simi Sasigi will give the side a confidence boost ahead of tomorrow's must-win NRL match against Newcastle at Canberra Stadium. The Raiders have won 4 of their last 5 matches at home, but did lose to the Knights earlier this season. Canberra needs to win all 4 of its remaining games to be a chance to play the finals this year. You're now up to date with the very latest from ABC News.
And the Logie goes to...
Show some love to your favourite ABC programs, presenters and actors by voting for us in the 2026 Logie Awards at tvweeklogies.com.au.
Get ready for a year of Test cricket like you've never heard before.
Stark tries again. He walks in straight through it.
Grandstand cricket.
12 months, 20 Test matches, New Zealand at home over summer, the 3 most iconic overseas tours, the 150th anniversary Test under lights at the MCG.
Have a driven for 4. Beautiful stroke.
And it all begins on Thursday with Australia versus Bangladesh.
Hits it clean over the long-off boundary for 6.
Listen to every ball live from the top end. On ABC Listen, just look for the cricket button.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Demons from the Scottish poke it back inside 50. Pickett manages to link up with Petty, takes the sprawling mark against the boundary line at right half forward. Petty's got a tough kick here in the sunshine, right half forward, 48 metres out. It's not tough for him. He does it with ease and he celebrates by rubbing his bald spot. Just a hand on top of the box to celebrate to let Paddy Boss and the Dockers know all about it.
So Demons ball again. Hicks slews off the side of the boot, up towards half forward. Salem can't take the mark. Sharp coming through, roves it, drives it deep. It's on target. It's a goal. Sharp finish from Harry. Out of the middle, Bolton trying to bounce it to himself. It doesn't come back. Loses possession. Sparrow harassed by Brayshaw. Hurries a kick to half forward for Melbourne. Cleverly tapped on by Steele. Windsor gathers. Petty taps that on. Laurie likes the look of it and kicks it.
Bowie leaps up for it. Boss gets out the back though. And Boss paddles it to his own advantage. Runs onto it, Paddy Boss. 60 out. Unguarded goal square. He's on and running, Paddy Boss. Celebration time. Kicks his 4th from a long way out. And everybody wants to get in the high-five chain.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
What a half of footy. Exactly what we'd hoped for. Round 22, Saturday afternoon football. Scores level at quarter time. Fremantle, who led it by 3 points at the half. It's all happening in the footy world, and the place to hear it all pulled apart is on AFL Saturday, the award-winning program, of course, with Luke Ball, Mick Moldhouse and myself. You can catch every Saturday from 12 noon Eastern. Today, Andrew Dillon was our feature guest, and what a day it was to chat to the boss of the AFL. On the back of the story which broke in Thursday's Herald Sun about the secret deal between a player and his club over essentially a waiver which basically passes on responsibilities if there is head trauma sustained later in his deal with the club. Now, that player was revealed to be Jake Kolodjasny from Geelong, and the AFL have issued a please explain to the Cats. We put to Andrew Dillon earlier today about why did the Cats feel that they needed a waiver?
So I can't talk for them. I think what they were trying to do was make sure that Jake understood the risks, and I think that's entirely, and that would happen at a footy club, not just in relation to concussions, but in relation to a lot of stuff that happens when you're dealing with doctors and medical experts, making sure that you understand whatever it is that's happening, and that happens in sort of everyday life when you're going into hospitals and the like. So I think it started with that, and then I think it said there was an overreach and it shouldn't have been there, and the clubs acknowledged that.
And did the AFL know about it?
No, the AFL and people within the AFL legal and insurance and risk team, on the back of the concussion panel, which is convened by the AFL, so this is back in 2023 or 4, spoke to Geelong about, on the back of the panel with the player wanting to come back and play, about making sure that there was an understanding in relation to the risk and making sure that there was an understanding in relation to the consent.
But you didn't know that was in a waiver form?
Didn't know that it was necessarily in a written form, or that there would have this other provision in it.
And lastly, the figure being Craig Drummond and his involvement in all of this, the former president of Geelong. Now, of course, he's the chair of the AFL Commission. Is his involvement a conflict of interest?
Well, I think, as Craig said in his statement, he hasn't been and won't be involved in any deliberations. So I think that you can clear it that way. And I think if you think about, what's good governance and anything, part of that is actually mistakes do happen and then owning up when they happen. And that's what, so far we've seen from Geelong, from current president, current CEO and former president.
It's just a sample of a longer chat with Andrew Dillon, who joined us off the top of the program on AFL Saturday. If you want to hear the interview, the discussion that followed, Talkback Radio, all of that, you can find it through ABC AFL Daily. So wherever you get your podcasts, ABC AFL Daily, with 5 episodes a week, the home of your footy conversation.
Can I just run one by you at the moment as well, Corb? Logan Morris 6 off the lead in the Coleman medal race. So Curnow leading the way, 57, King 53, Watson and Gunston on 52. Luke Ball said at the time when that goal was disallowed for Logan Morris,
yes,
it could be the kind of goal that costs him the Coleman medal. Could you imagine if Logan Morris can finish strong in the next couple of weeks and misses out on the Coleman by 1 goal?
Hope he hasn't got a Coleman clause in the contract.
Oh, he would. Of course he would.
Absolutely. Not another one during the year where he just missed it directly in front, 20 metres out.
No, specifically that one.
Oh, I'm just asking.
Yeah, because it was a wrong
But
decision.
he kicked the goal.
Legally.
He kicked a legal goal.
And it was taken off him. We got
Ram is saying that. If he was Logan's manager and there was a Coleman medal clause, he would not be saying that.
In the 18 years that I managed players, I never ever had a goal, most goals in a contract for a player.
Okay.
Ever.
There you go.
Or how many goals that you've kicked or anything like that.
You've done Jamie Elliott out of a fair bit of money.
The simple part of that is, are you playing for yourself or are you playing for your team?
I agree with
nice goal to have on your CV, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You didn't have
at the end of your career.
Do you have any waivers and any contracts?
It could be a 3-time premiership player, Coleman medalist at 21.
That language in there, Corbin.
Fremantle by 3 points, second half upon us on ABC Sport. You're with Ben Cameron.
Jackson wins down the tap. Fremantle leading by 3 points. 6 lead changes in the first half. Jackson following up. Gets it out to Sarong. Kicks up the half forward.
Push.
With the hands there of Tracy. Got a little nudge. And a free kick going the way of the big key forward for the Dockers.
Yeah, that's there. Edged him under the ball. Almost a mini tunnel.
Maybe too far out to score here, you would think. So he bullets it into the pocket for the leading Voss. Burst through his hands. Stays in field. Rivers gathers. Hooks it back from where it came, and Tracy goes up and gets it again. So a reset from the exact same spot.
He might have missed the academy session this week.
Yeah.
Benny.
Slept in. As he looks for him again, overshoots him this time, and Rivers takes it back. Tumbling mark. Marking overhead in the back pocket for the Demons. Fremantle by 3, as I said. 6 lead changes in that first half.
Rivers to Tom McDonald. One back pocket to the other, and now out to half-back for Bowie. Short kick to Cole Toll. Our man Colton Tolstrup has got it on the back flank. Native Sandgroper, country boy. There's a handball away to Tom McDonald. Floats a handball down the line to Bowie. In front of the interchange gates. Kicks down the wing. It's a good kick. Finds Sparrow. And Sparrow turns and dabs it down to half forward. The 45 kick to Steele. Still another kick from goal. 60 metres out. And he's got a runner alongside him. It's back to Bowie, one of their best distributors. Bowie decides to lay it up to full forward. Punched away by Oscar McDonald. Straight down the throat of Fritsch. Jams it on the boot. High up and under. Floats all the way to the behind line. Oh, they let it bounce and through for a minor score it goes.
Well, lucky Oscar. The big corridor spoil. He landed straight in the arms. He probably had another half step up his sleeve, Bradley Fritsch, didn't he? But
yeah,
got away with one.
Fremantle by 2. We're 2 minutes into the third term. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
Second half hasn't started with the same vigour as the first. Long kick from Clark up towards Marking contest there from Jackson. It's sent back up towards half forward here for the D's. Sharps onto it. Snaps towards full forward. Bouncing ball. Clark's back there. Last line for the Dockers. Handball to Oscar McDonald. Shocking kick. Slews off the side of the boot. Allows Tolstrup to get involved. Now Jefferson too. Loose ball inside 50 for the D's. And we'll get a ball up. 35 out from their attacking goal. City end of the ground. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
Umpire tosses it up in the shadows of the City end. Oh, as Brayshaw takes out Gawn in all of that. Ball picked up by Young. Tumbles a kick out of defence. Witkowski caught by Langford and the ball up. Centre half forward here for Melbourne. Gawn wins it down. Sparrow got a hand pass away looking for Langford. Taken away by Sharp. He's tackled by Young. Dispossessed. Warner got it out to Switkowski for Fremantle, and a ball up still at half forward for the D's. Mentioned Fremantle shared history with Melbourne, so Fremantle's first ever finals win against the D's back in 2006 at Subiaco Oval in a semi.
Gawn just a little shove, pushed Jackson out of the way. Free kick to the Dockers on their back flank.
And Fremantle's first ever win at the G was here against Melbourne. They lost their first 10 games at the home of football, but round 10, 1999, Fremantle won by 54 points. Tony Modra kicked 10 goals too.
Let's not forget the man you mentioned with that 50-goal season. Jeff Farmer, of course, both of these clubs, and Neil Danaher, before he got the gig at Melbourne as the senior coach, was an assistant at Fremantle. As Young receives it from Jackson, moves it on to Clark.
Young and Jackson.
Now Clark, yeah, Young and Jackson, Borley. Very good from you as the kick goes around the wing from Clark off the hands of the pack. Gathered by Langford, sweeps the handball away to Cozzy. So the D's back with it. Floating kick, it works out for Windsor on the logo.
Gives a handball to Sparrow, pace on the ball for the D's. He feeds it forward to Laurie, having a career day, kicks into the forward pocket. Jefferson traps it, handball to Steele. Steele can walk it in, extra handball to Sparrow. He goes. Great team footy from the D's. They kick the first of the second half, and Melbourne back in front. The lead swings again for a 7th time. Melbourne by 4, 11-6. They lead Fremantle 11-2. Saturday footy on ABC Sport, 4 minutes into the third.
Oh, he's having a good day. Tom Sparrow up to 21 possessions now, to leading possession winner comfortably on the ground, and a couple of goals, 7 score involvements to add there. But I love the unselfishness of Jack Steele. Could have had a shot at goal by himself. Saw a teammate in a better position, give the handball off. So he's been so underrated, I think, this year, Jack Steele, and the role that he's played in this Demons midfield. But that just goes to show that it's not about him; it's about what the result is on the scoreboard.
Back in the middle, Jackson jumps up, takes it out of the ruck, floats a kick inside 50, marking contest. Punched away from Tracy, going at ground level. Reid gets it out for the Dockers to Switkowski, to Sarong. Reid run down. Langford gets him holding the ball and lets him know about it as well.
Yeah, he did. I reckon that's the first time I can remember Murphy Reid getting caught this year. I mean, there were some brilliant quick hands to get it out to him. In the end, just got blindsided. Not much you can do about that. Good wing cover work from Harvey Langford.
Melbourne by 4 points. Kick to a contest on the wing off the hands of the pack. Voss can't trap it. Turns tackler on Petty. Pole drives him into the ground. There they are. And a ball up. Petty and Voss again. They reacquaint themselves with one another. Ball up on the logo.
When he feeling in the tackle, Jackson palms it down to Young. Young still trying to fight through. Held up. Another ball up. Cracking game of footy. Melbourne by 4 points, early stages, third term. 7 lead changes. Gawn punches it forward to the outskirts of the stoppage. Hitting up Petty. Can't trap it. Bowls into Warner. Oh, Clark fumbled, trying to pick it up. His opposite number, Windsor, got it out for the D's, but straight to Oscar McDonald. Handball to Clark. Fremantle back with it. Hand pass away to Brayshaw. He gives it to Sarong. Sweeping handball to Dudley. Dudley wins it. Escapes. Rivers once, then turns into him. Caught holding the ball. Rivers wins it for Melbourne. Here go the D's. Handball releases Windsor. Windsor kicks into an open paddock. Running downhill. Sharp on the line. Hits the volley for a goal. Sharp's got 2. And the D's pull further in front. And it's Melbourne who are putting all the pace on the ball early in this third term. A 10-point lead for the Demons, 12-6 to 11-2. 7 minutes into the third, Fremantle flat-footed.
I just want to see that tackle again.
Yeah.
So Rivers, 2 efforts there to get Dudley. Missed the first one, but then came back. But what I love is the handball's there straight away. So it's give it to our runner, Windsor the runner. And then just a beautiful long kick to grass, really, because all Melbourne's forwards are up. They'd already committed their lead. So Windsor goes over the top, then the running machine. Harry Sharp's there to finish it off.
Restart in the middle, Gawn hooking it down, Cozzy Pickett overruns it, Brayshaw soccers it on. Up towards half forward, Dudley shovels it out for the Dockers, but Bowie takes it for the D's. Off the Rivers, pressured by Brayshaw, coughs it up, Erasmus, slipping, gets the handball to Brayshaw, hurries the handball back to Dudley on the wing. He'll just chip a kick up to half forward, and Bolton backpedaling inside 50. He marks 46 metres out. He'll go back and kick for goal.
Well, they're overusing it a bit, Freo. I mean, Melbourne's pressure is elite. It's red hot, and they're just inviting it with some overuse of handball. But at the time, Isaiah Dudley good enough to get out of trouble and spot Shea Bolton just drifting into a pocket of space. He's had a pretty good day, Bolton. His maximum impact is any with his touches. That's he had. He's only had the 7th.
Dual premiership player at Richmond. Boot the ball from 50. You need your stars. And Fremantle stand up. Shea Bolton from right on the arc of 50 has put it through. 12-6-78 Melbourne. The Dockers 12-2-74. 9 minutes into the third. But D's by 4 points.
Well, the interesting part with Bolton is often when he's gone up into the midfield, his direct matchup has been Cozzy. And those two aren't playing on each other. Cozzy's just having a bigger impact on the game at the moment. So I think you're better off putting Bolton forward, trying to find another mid to come up into the mix and get Bolton then playing a true centre forward game where he's caused the most havoc this season.
Coming off 32-2 last time they met. Hits the scoreboard today. Bolton, he's got the first possession back in the middle. Jackson with the service. Bolton the clearance. Kicks it to Weymouth. Marks in the corridor. 25 out straight in front. And that is how they draw it up at practice.
Sure is. That is as good as it gets. Ruckman to Rover. Penetrating kick. Amos, he's just like a good forward. His ability to react and get to the fall of the ball. He's playing on a good player, Jakey Lever, who's really got his hands full at the moment, just leading him to the footy all the time.
Amos to finish it off. The kick's good. And that is a classic centre bounce goal for the Dockers. Amos has got 4, and Fremantle snatch back the lead. Lead change number 8. 11 minutes gone in the third. Fremantle 13-2. They lead Melbourne 12-6. Saturday footy on ABC.
Well, the centre clearance is special. But I think the isolation of Jake Lever is what's more important at the moment for Fremantle. So first half, a lot of that isolation was Paddy Voss. And Voss kicks the 4 goals in a half of football. Now Lever's gone back to Jai Amos in a goal square. So he's just hitting up again there. Lever couldn't go with him. Lever's a metre or 2 behind him, Paulie.
Yeah, that's 4 centre bounce clearances in a row for the quarter of the Dockers. And that one's just impossible to defend.
Jai Amos not totally out of the Coleman medal race at the moment either. Up to 52 goals, 5 behind Curnow. Second lead change of the second half. We had 6 in the first. So 8 for the match. Ball to be won in the middle. Bolton wins it. Gets it on the boot, kicks inside 50. Tracy a run and jump, drops the mark. Coxey's down there. Tom McDonald goes over the footy. Eventually it comes out. Turner feeds it out to Rivers. Melbourne at fullback to Bowie in a clearing high kick. Johnson stands underneath it and marks. Warner did well just to keep Langford out of it. Freo by a couple of points. 12 played, third term. Johnson chips it in the Tracy direction, but he stands off at And Turner marks unopposed for Melbourne.
Oh, boy. Turner kicks an absolute flower bag out to half-back. Intercepted away by Johnson. Fremantle with the inside 50. Possession game. Handball away towards Dudley. Dudley tackled by Pickett. Up. Takes a moment. Now says holding the ball.
I agree, Bolly.
So he didn't get suckered into the high tackle, and then Dudley didn't release, holding the pill.
He's Matty Johnson. He's had a good year, but just had a couple of moments there where he's been so indecisive. That's right. Take the responsibility and kick the goal. It's just a nothing handball, wasn't it?
Pickett goes laterally out to Rivers on the back flank. 2-point lead for Fremantle. They've kicked the last 2 goals. Rivers long down the wing. Jackson flying forward. Got a sharp in the marking contest.
Oh, he's lifted Luke Jackson. Possession 6 for the quarter.
The big unique ruckman. The U word as he goes back to Ryan, and then Ryan retreats again with the kick to Brennan Cox. Oh, Cox's kick, not pretty. In the end, Ryan now in a scrap with Fritsch for the footy, close to the boundary line. Fritsch paddles it out in front. Bit of support comes in Fitzgerald and Young, but there's a whistle on the play here. The out-of-zone umpire spotted something. It's going to come all the way back to Young and the Dockers. I'm a little confused.
Well, we've got a little slow play here. Credit where credit's due. The cookie that Ben Cameron gave me at half-time, delicious.
Partner Ellis.
I've been slaving away in the kitchen.
Delicious, Ben. Well done.
0 credit deserved there. Fremantle by 2 points. They got the footy moving it down the wing. Quick one, Ray. What was that for?
Yeah, a little bit of high contact, I think, off the ball.
The kick from Erasmus up towards Frederick. Hands to it. Doesn't take the mark off the hands of the pack. Tom McDonald to Melbourne. On to Rivers, to Bowie, to Pickett. Kicking around the edge of the square. Brennan Cox tracking it back, marks. Fremantle ball again. Defensive point of the square. Shout out to my partner Alice.
So you lied to me, Ben.
Yeah, I was just a little fib.
Okay. Thank you, Alice.
Little dry, if I'm being honest. But only kidding. Delicious. More of those, please.
Gluten-free as Cox smokes it out wide to Ryan.
Healthy cookies.
Warner Dockers down the southern side of the ground.
The peanut M&M inside. That was a hit.
Freo by 2 points.
Did any of them go missing then in the making of said cookies? There's a kick here down to half forward for the Dockers. There's a big shove in all of that. No whistle. Pickett and Jack at the back. Jack got it away to Turner. It's stolen though by Bolton. Bolton caught by Pickett. How about that as a matchup? Pickett with the chase down tackle win.
Love that from Cozzy. We see the offense brilliance all the time, but the defensive style.
Oh, and right on cue, Pickett, as we're singing his praises, kicks it straight to Tracy in the corridor, who marks 20 out straight in front.
Oh, it was on too. Just no momentum into the kick and just straight over Trent Rivers' head. Tracy right there on the spot to take an easy mark and should kick the goal.
It's a huge defensive act. Wins the holding the ball call, and from the back pocket tries to come back corridor to Rivers, missed him. And now Tracy is right in front of the big sticks, and he misses. Gee, that's a let-off and very out of character for Josh Tracy.
And he's kicked it well today, but there's a little bit of a pattern there, isn't it? Sometimes he's better kicking it from 50 plus, a little bit close to the man on the mark, got underneath it, so let off.
Fremantle by 3 points, 16 minutes gone in the third term. We've got a good one going at the G.
Bowie taking the kick in, looking for Turner, who marks one-handed. Really nicely reeled in. My man Summit Melbourne tell you is a future captain. Kicks up towards the contest. Cox goes up, brings it down. Warner roving the pack. Tackled down to ground and a ball up virtually on the logo. Fremantle by 3 points.
Three-headed monster, by the way. They've kicked 10 between them today. So
good return.
4 for Amos, 2 for Tracy.
They do tell us that they only count their goals as a collective, not as individuals, as Cox slaps a boundary side. Nathan O'Driscoll runs after it and he's tackled out. Throw in right beneath the members. It's Freo by 3, 16 and a half into the third.
They're a challenge for any team, but I mentioned it off the top. Not a good day to have Blake House absent for Melbourne. Ray Chamberlain on the boundary.
Not a great day to be a boundary umpire either as you go through the interchange gate. A little bit of a collision as the runner entered the ground. He won't be happy with that.
Not at all. Who did he collide with? A player?
Oh, I won't name names.
Okay.
Fremantle.
There we go. Should we expect
former Richmond Fremantle player.
Okay.
Rhymes with.
We'll see check the MRO sheet to see if there's anything in that from the...
It was an accident.
What happens there, Ray? So obviously the field umpire, it has to be intentional contact to get fined. Is that the idea?
Yeah, no, it's just a high traffic area. No one's doing anything out of the ordinary there. One's trying to come on. He's trying to get the ball. It's just an accident.
And everyone's okay?
We're all okay down here.
Beautiful. Boundary throwing on the wing. So 3-point game. Fremantle on top. 17 and a half gone in the third term. And from the boundary throwing, we got a ball up.
Chamber, while you're there, was Hayden Meyer formerly Hayden Gavine?
That's correct, yeah.
All up on the wing, slapped down by Big Max Gord. But the Dockers take it away. Johnson spins and kicks inside 50. Marking contest, Amos caught behind, punches it away, bouncing ball. Sarong takes it in a spin. Inside 50, the Dockers. Reed twisting, turning, nearly caught, gets a kick away. Full forward Amos bursts at the footy and marks. And he is having himself a day. 12 metres out, slight angle.
He is.
He'll go back and look at number 5.
Yeah, he's just giving Jakey Lever a bath.
Yeah, it's not really a good matchup.
They might have to look at changing that. You're right, it's just not a suited matchup, is it? Well, I'm not sure which one is. That's the challenge for Jakey Lever now. He's a gun, we know that. Premiership player, so they're going to have to find a way.
Attacking him.
Too mobile, aren't they?
Jai Amos, Dead-Eye Jai, trots in and puts it through for a handful. And that's exactly what he's been for Jake Lever. Fremantle lead by 9. 14-3-87, plays 12-6-78. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
Well, he finishes the work, but, geez, that was good from Murphy Reid, who's had it by his standards, had a quiet day. It was Sarong initially winning the 50-50, firing out a handball to Reid. And we mentioned before, it's the first time I've seen him caught holding the ball this year. His ability there just to find space where there didn't appear to be any. And then I think he did tick it to that spot, didn't he? He sort of tried to drop it in that spot. And Amos again, he's just so quick to move to the fall of the ball.
Well, they've got Lever out of the goal square now. He's gone up to Paddy Voss, who's 40 metres out. I reckon Lever's had 6 or 7 kicked on him today.
Fremantle by 9 points, back in the middle. Rucks go at it. Gorm wins the hit out. There's multiple whistles.
You can't play on. Yeah.
Oh man, Hayden Meyer's out of zone poorly, but he's spotted a free kick and it's going to go Melbourne's way. So Steele with it, middle of the G. Overcast day in Melbourne, but 16 degrees, perfect for footy. And it's the Demons' turn to try and respond as Steele drives it forward, but Mason Cox takes the intercept mark. Former Magpie, centre half back, the big Texan. Goes along to the wing. They come from all directions. Ball hits the deck, spills to Erasmus. A little casual. CJ got him, holding the ball. And Jaff wins it on the wing.
Just been caught dawdling a few times today, Neil Erasmus.
A kick from Jaff, broken up there by Paddy Voss. He goes back in, wins it. It's a handball out. Ball in dispute, half forward for the D's. Fitzgerald picks it up. His handball errant. Bolton pinches it. Frere come away with it. It's a great kick into the middle of the ground, and Amos, he's everywhere at the moment, gives it off to Dudley, who's running east-west. Gets the handball away to Johnson. Gives it back to Dudley. Dudley takes a bounce. He can move it on by hand to McVie. Kicks deep inside 50. Jackson's down there. Can't take the mark. Going to ground in a wrestle with McDonald. There to mop it up. Tolstrup. Handball's hot. They're under pressure, the D's. Langdon comes and helps out with the cool head of Salem.
Salem goes long to the wing and picked off by Ryan for a kick. It's going against Oscar McDonald, who's in tangle in front of that with Jefferson. Matt Jefferson, defensive side of the wing, kicks beyond it. Mason Cox behind the footy, rips it down.
Sticky today, the Dukes, aren't they?
Another intercept mark for Mason. On the kicking ban in the second term, but this one's good. Just pokes it laterally and finds Ryan.
A few players in the league, isn't there, that are on kicking bans?
It's like your pen licence.
A 9-point lead for Fremantle as Ryan's kicks a turnover. Again on that southern wing, and Colton Tolstrup, the Colt figure who all his Colt Toll has got the footy, goes very short to Gawn. Wasn't his best kick. Tolstrup there to clean it up. Handball away to Rivers. Melbourne kick with it. Go long kick out to the wing. Jaff in a bit of space. Marks and plays on. Open forward 50. Jaff just lays it up beautifully into the path of Laurie. And the young man who's having a career day marks it right half forward.
He's just bobbing up in nice areas, Bailey Laurie, today. So not getting deep forward. So he's sort of playing that 70 to 30 odd metres out. So just trying to find gaps, trying to find holes to really force Fremantle's defenders out to him.
Bailey Laurie, who kicked 3 first-half goals, only once previously had multiple goals in any game. Laurie's kick here is way out to the left. It's behind at only just. So it's an 8-point lead for Fremantle. 14-3, they lead Melbourne 12-7. 23 minutes gone in the third. Fremantle have kicked the last 3 goals of the game after falling behind by double digits earlier in the term.
Just on Jai Amos as well, up to an equal career high, 5 goals now. Third time he's done that at AFL level, and he's up into equal second in the Coleman medal race with Ben King. The Dockers send it out to the southern side of the ground, switch it back, and McVie chips it to the centre line, mark taken by Erasmus. He'll poke it on, looking for Oscar McDonald. Jaff comes and breaks it up. And the ball close to the line, kept in by Laurie. Flicks it up to Jaff. Now the D's are away. Loops the handball to Sharp. He'll kick inside 50. Jefferson's in good position. Chapman comes across, bumps him off it, then gathers the footy. Really well done by the Dockers defender. Off to O'Driscoll and now Brayshaw.
Had a good day, Chapman. As he's wide. Brayshaw's kick goes out wide for Young. Tracy's on. A little hamstring concern earlier. It appears to be okay. Tracy marks. Uncontested between wing and half forward. Bowie stands the mark. Tracy arcs out to his right. Drives a high arcing drop punt towards a pack. Spills out the back. Hands on it from Voss, not to be. Tolstrup back pocket. He's out of play. As well disguised if that was the desired result. And a boundary throw in forward pocket for Fremantle.
Good call. That was a huge win from Chapman. He just looked out of position. Just desperate, just threw the body at it. And then his ability to recover and get onto a loose ball saved potentially a goal at the other end.
Fremantle by 8 points, 24 gone in the third.
Throw in forward pocket for the Dockers. Hook to the back by Jackson. Murphy Reid to Switkowski.
Oh, wow.
This is virtually an open snap from 25 out, directly in front. And overcooked it.
A couple of let-offs here. So Tracy missed, Switkowski missed, 2 from the corridor.
Just leaving the door ajar. Yeah. Fremantle by 9.
Bowie goes short to Tom McDonald. Retiring Demon in the back pocket. Long to a one-on-one. Langford just beats Erasmus hands down. A genuine one-on-one. He basically hailed a cap and said, just kick it to me, I'll win it. And he did. The young Demon to centre half forward. Van Rooyen reaching over the pack. Petty in front. Comes down with it.
That's
juggled mark, and the umpire rightfully says, all right, ball up, centre half forward for the D's.
Van Rooyen had first hands.
I called his name a heap. JVR, their leading goal kicker. Gawn just whacks it forward again. Straight to Warner, though. He's gang tackled, taking the ground, holding the ball. Oh, Carl Warner took a step, turned into the 2 tacklers in Fritsch and Laurie. Locked up. Fritsch is going to take the free. What did you make of that call, Ray Chamberlain?
Well, it all comes down to whether or not you think he's had prior opportunity or not called. What do you reckon?
I reckon that's 55-45. Yeah, I'm happy that it's paid.
Sitting in the margins, made no real effort. Legal tackle.
Took a little step to the left.
Shimmy, go.
That was the one for the step off the left foot that sort of probably thought, yep, that can count as your prior. It's a big free kick and a big spot on the ground at a big stage in the game. And Bailey Fritsch misses. And makes it a big miss. 12-8 to 14-4. And Fremantle have a chance to pull away here. They haven't taken their opportunities, and Melbourne, who are in chase mode, they let one pass too. Fremantle by 8 points late in the third term.
Short kick from Ryan, away to Brayshaw. Fremantle have missed their chances, and now Melbourne, their turn. Brayshaw, contest kick to the wing. Lever drops the mark, might have got a little tunnel. Jackson's out the back, Fremantle away. Off to Murphy Reid. Flicks the handball to Switkowski. Handball to Jackson. Steps around Cozzy. Kicks into the pocket. Over clubs for Amos. Bounces in play. Pitches out. Throw in left forward pocket here for Freo.
I'm putting Murphy Reid into a pretty exclusive club, and it's not the second-year All-Australian club just yet. I know you're a fan of that boy. I think he's in the Eddie Betts category, that commentators and people in general, that he's a two-name kind of guy, that no one ever calls him Reed or Murphy. He's always Murphy Reed anytime he's mentioned.
Gawn taps it down. Fredericks onto it. Tackled. Gets a kick away. Straight up and down. And it just goes to 15. Turner claims the mark. Top of the defensive goal square. Ray Chamberlain.
Got one of those at our place, Poppy Salmon. Scarlett Rebecca Chamberlain's best friend.
There you go. Shout out to her.
Names.
Shout out to her. Oh! Harvey Langford! What a leap with springs in his boots.
That's a contender.
Yeah. He's flying over their heads. Harvey Langford with a proper leap and a huge pack mark at half-back for the Demons. Oh, been a weekend for it with Curtis back on Thursday night, and now Harvey Langford heads down the wing with the kick. We got a stoppage. And not enough time, unfortunately, for Harvey and those at the G to get a look on the replay. Now there's going to be a free kick. The ball continues to move. It's going Fremantle's way for a high tackle. It'll come back to Brayshaw. Half-back flank. How do we rate it, gentlemen?
Contender.
Was it better than
Paul Curtis?
Yeah.
On the ruckman, wasn't it, that one?
Is it mark of the week, let alone mark of the year?
Oh, I probably have Curtis just in front of that, but
Really?
I'll need to look at replays of both of them.
Curtis, the one-on-one. I like jumping over a pack sometimes.
Three-quarter time, Fremantle, after conceding the first two goals of the third term, finished with 3 of their own and will turn for home leading by 8. They are 15-1 when they do in season 2026. Jai Amos, 5 goals for him, equal career high. 4 for Paddy Voss, 2 to Josh Tracy, and then it is the singles of Bolton, Switkowski and Dudley. While for Melbourne, 3 for Bailey Laurie, and then you're looking at 2 for Sharp, 2 for Sparrow, singles to Bowie, Fritsch, Petty, Pickett and Chandler.
Might have looked better from our angle than it did front on. We just saw a couple of replays, but the fact that we were sort of up right behind him and being able to see the way that he leapt up over the pack and came down with it. But a spectacular grab for Harvey Langford just before three-quarter time. You heard the goal kickers from Ben. Three-quarter time here. Couple off the SMS. Liv and Marupna listening in and loving the game. Worthy of a final, I think. Don't support either team, but Stephen King being a local, given he's from Shepparton. So go the D's. Great call, guys. Thanks, Liv. Nice to hear from you. Tess from Tapping in WA. Great commentary as usual on the Dockers and the Melbourne match. Listening on the app in the car, overlooking very choppy seas at Burns Beach in WA after a pelting with hailstones. Your banter is as good as the football commentary. Sounds like an exciting game from Tess. Thanks, Tess. Appreciate that. From Scotty, loving the call, fellas. Sounds like a few of your listeners haven't seen much of Freo. Week after week, we've seen teams throw everything at us early. Fremantle play rope-a-dope footy and wear the punches. Let's see if the D's are still going with this late. Not many do. From Scotty, appreciate that. And one for Razor. You got the cans on, Razor? If Razor says you can't tackle in the back, how do you explain a holding the ball decision from a chase-down tackle from behind?
Well,
from Jesse in Wollongong.
Jesse from Wollongong, I'm glad you asked. When you tackle from behind, obviously the onus is on the tackle to make sure that they don't drive them in the middle of the back, so they've got to roll the player, roll to the side.
Love it. I knew you'd be all across it, Ray Chamberlain, on zero notice. Happy to answer your queries, as are Rammer and Bawley. 0437 774 774, the SMS number. It's a cracking game. The game's on at three-quarter time, an 8-point lead for the Dockers. This is Saturday Footy on ABC Sport.
This August, Science Week is blooming around the ABC.
We're celebrating Australia's wildflowers.
Vote now. Get involved at abc.net.au/science.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Rivers wins it for Melbourne. Here go the D's. Handball releases Windsor. Windsor kicks into an open paddock. Running downhill. Sharp on the line. Hits the volley for a goal. Sharp's got 2. And the D's pull further in front.
Erasmus slipping. Gets the handball to Brayshaw. Hurries the handball back to Dudley on the wing. He'll just chip a kick up the half forward. And Bolton backpedaling inside 50. He marks 46 metres out. Boot the ball from 50. You need your stars. And Fremantle stands up. Sarong takes it in a spin. Inside 50, the Dockers. Reed twisting, turning, nearly caught. Gets a kick away. Full-forward Amos. Burst of the footy and marks. And he is having himself a day. Deadeye Jai trots in. and puts it through for a handful. And that's exactly what he's been for Jake Lever.
Harvey Langford! What a leap with springs in his boots.
That's a contender.
Yeah. He's flying over their heads. Harvey Langford.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
Like an Eastern Rosella just up over their heads. Harvey Langford, what a grab. Fremantle by 8 points, 14-4 to Melbourne 12-8. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Coming up next, a dual-site double-header. If you're in South Australia, you will be getting coverage of the game between Port Adelaide, who make the trip to the SCG to play the Swans. But for the rest of the network, it is Geelong and Essendon down at Cadinia Park. And Lauren Borden is there to head up our call. Good afternoon, Loz.
Hello, Corbin. It does feel like all roads have led to Cadinia Park throughout the latter parts of this week with everything that's been going on here at Geelong and surrounding the Geelong Footy Club. Essendon in front of me are warming up towards the Selwood stand, and I haven't seen too many Geelong players making their way out onto the ground for a bit of a warm-up pre-match. Of course, Jake Kolodjasny is an emergency today. I haven't spotted him just yet floating around the grounds, but obviously they've got a wonderful facility indoors here at Geelong. I think they'll be happy that it is game day, so it's 7th taking on 18th in terms of the Bombers, who are trying to stay off the bottom of the ladder. They'll be in a bit of a battle with Richmond in the last 3 games of the season to try and stop themselves from winning the wooden spoon. The Bombers come in with 3 changes. Jai Caldwell, Vigo Vizentini and Archie Perkins are in, while Angus Clark and Nick Bryan will miss with injury, and Harry Jones has been omitted. Of course, for Geelong, they've got an easier run home given they've got Essendon, North Melbourne and Richmond coming up, and their top 6 chances do depend on this match, and of course they depend on your match as well. I think there's a lot of Geelong supporters out there that'll be hoping that Freo win to give themselves a chance of jumping into the top 6, which is made a lot more difficult if Melbourne win this afternoon. Sam de Koning in for Mitch Edwards in terms of the Geelong ins and outs. It'll be myself and Andrew Mays calling it. The AFL coaching legend Mick Malthouse has made his way from the MCG to Cadinia Park, and Timmy Morgan will be on the boundary for us this afternoon. So Geelong and Essendon coming up next after you, Corbin, on ABC Sport.
Thanks, Loz. Appreciate that. 21 of the last 24 Geelong have won over the Bombers, so it's pretty long.
I believe he walked down there too, Mick, so glad he made it. Yep.
Yeah,
from here.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Fremantle by 8 points. Quick thoughts, Bally Run.
Well, it's up for grabs. Loz said it, and I think Melbourne supporters came along today wondering how their team would stack up against the benchmark of the competition this year. They've been up for the fight, Rammer. They've been terrific, but how will they? Can they sustain it, really? So that pressure, will that drop away? Fremantle have just been able to respond when they've needed to. Clearance game's big, isn't it?
Clearance that quarter, 12-3 in Fremantle's favour. Luke Jackson, 4 clearances himself, 3 out of the centre bounce. So Melbourne need to get back to work in close.
Max needs to get going. Big quarter for the skipper.
Game on the line, final term underway. Fremantle by 8. Jackson palms it down to Sarong, who wouldn't be beaten there. Got the footy out, tumbles a kick forward. Tolstrup couldn't trap it. Cozzy collects in a spin. Got a handball away to Steele, and now a pack forms middle of the G. Ump says, I'll have it. 8 lead changes. Fremantle by 8 points. Opening seconds of the final term. Jackson palms it down. Brayshaw dragged off it by Pickett. Reid grabs it. He's held up. Tolstrup tackles him. Full bill of health as much as we can tell. So final term underway here. Fremantle by 8.
Jackson hooks it down. Brayshaw's onto it. Handball a little errant, but Murphy Reid makes it his. Fires a handball back to Chapman, who puts a pass for a leading Tracy.
What great hits.
And there is the Patrick Voss Academy in full effect. All of that extra touch work during the week. Nice mark from Tracy on the wing. Dumps it inside 50 for the Dockers. Marking contest. Amos juggles it. Nope. Not paid the mark. They keep rumbling. Reid picks it up, gives it up off to Dudley, who gives it to Erasmus, to Switkowski, lifts the kick into the pocket, overshoots Reid. He gathers it, steps around Colton Tolstrup, gets it on the boot, snaps it across the goal mouth, and Johnson marks. Deep in the left forward pocket. 2 metres in from the point post, and Johnson will go back and snap for goal.
Be a big blow this from the first goal of the quarter. Again, nothing pretty about it, just winning one-on-one, 50-50 balls, and a bit of class from Murphy Reid.
Johnson veers out, snaps truly. Fremantle lead by 14 points. 15-4-94 plays 12-8-80. 2 minutes into the fourth. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
Well, you take your opponent to where they're uncomfortable. And you look there, Johnson, he's taken Harry Sharp all the way to full forward. So Sharp, we know how good of a runner he is, but when it's your turn there, you can see the frustration from Sharp. He should have been able to defend that, at least get a fist in there, spoil it out of bounds. But terrific by Johnson, recognising a mismatch.
Interesting, isn't it? Johnson, he's had 16 possessions. It leads or equal with Luke Jackson and Caleb Sarong. So no one really starring, and that's been the strength of the team this year. Just an even contribution across the board.
Last 4 goals in the game for the Dockers. A 14-point break after falling 10 behind early in the third. Steele soccers it out of the middle for the Demons. On the back flank for the Dockers, Clark and Windsor both bang bodies. Ball slips out towards McVie. Hand pass to Johnson, the goal kicker. Kicks beyond the wing to Voss. Takes a sprawling mark. Voss gets up and trots around on his right. Drives it inside the forward 50. Tracy leaping up for it. No mark. Spills down to Tolstrup. Got a hand pass away to Turner. Turner shoots a handball to Fitzgerald and now to Sharp. Sharp fumbles. Got Reid to deal with. Handball to Jaff. It's a hot footy. D's at half back. Gives it to Fitzgerald. Worried out of it. Great tackle. Johnson wins it for Freo. Handball inside 50. Bolton dances his way through traffic. Got a hand pass out towards Brayshaw. Brayshaw collects. Steps around Pickett. Brayshaw into the pocket. Voss up. Hands on it. No mark. No whistle. And Bowie able to clear. Kicks to the back pocket and finds Fitzgerald. He'll give it back to Bowie and the D's away.
Bowie, outlet kick up towards the wing. Petty and Cox. There's a whistle holding free kick. It'll go the way of Petty. Wants to feed the handball to Sharp, who's running along the worn wing. Pokes a kick over the top. Laurie slips over. Has to slap it out towards Windsor. Now the Dockers recover to try and defend. Switkowski worries Sharp out of it. Clark goes in. Handball to Ryan. Handball away for Brayshaw. A turnover. Petty takes it. Demons ball high half forward. Handball for Sharp. Tackled by Clark. Wrapped up and taken to ground. Ball up. 60 out from the attacking goal for Melbourne. Freo by 14.
Could have been holding the ball there. Just not quite clean enough, were they, Melbourne there? Great chasing and pressure from Switkowski.
Last 3 of the third quarter for the Dockers. First goal in this final term. There's Laurie trying to get a kick inside 50, but it's a turnover. Reid got it. Wheels around, kicks back down the wing. Switkowski flies, no mark, spills to Voss. On the hop, gets a handball away to Sarong. Hand pass to Brayshaw, back to Reid, kicks outside of the right boot. What touch? Finds Dudley. Handball releases Voss. Strolls down to the 50. Voss from 45 sprays it. Kicks out on the fall. Probably heard the Pickett footsteps who was coming for him. No score. Fremantle by 14. Early stages final term.
Tracy and Amos gave him the what about me's in the pocket. Long kick from Bowie up towards the wing. Marking contest Gawn down in front. Tries to kick it from on his backside. Dribbles it forward. It ricochets to Jath. The Demons ball handball to Tolstrup. Back to Jath. Bullets a pass infield. Finds Steele, centre half back. Wants to bring it to the open side and Turner marks in stride. Takes it on the logo, kicks inside 50. Langford marks in the pocket on the back lead. 2 metres in the field of play. 30 out, very acute angle and wrong side for a left footer.
Really tough. Look, good ball movement by the D's there. Been stuck in Fremantle's forward half for a good couple of minutes there. So the transition really from back half all the way to front half for a shot at goal is a good result.
Chose shift from Jaff, wasn't it? He shaped to go back boundary line and Fremantle defenders were all queuing up, but brought the ball inside to Steele, open side. Nice kick from Turner to find Langford.
Already taken a Mark of the Year contender today. Harvey Langford kicks this across the goal mouth. And getting back, the Dockers mark through Johnson. Did a good job to float in front of the marker there in Petty.
Doing it at both ends, isn't he? Matthew Johnson.
Freo by 14, 6 into the fourth.
Is there another twist in this game yet? Fremantle got it out to an 18-point buffer in the first quarter and the second term, and on both occasions Melbourne not only came back, they came back to hit the front. It's Fremantle by 14 now. If they get the next goal, the Dockers, it'll be a new game high, or can Melbourne answer again? Brennan Cox comes out of defence, up to the wing, Rivers takes the intercept mark. 7 minutes gone, final term. 14-point lead for the Dockers. Rivers with a raking drop punt for Petty. Marks it full forward. And this is one that must go through.
Just lost touch with him there, Chapman. Good kick by Rivers. Worked out where the outnumber was going to be. Put the ball in that direction.
It's been the story of the day. Every single time Fremantle threatened to break the back of the game. Melbourne come again. They won't back down. Petty goals. He's got 2. And Fremantle's lead trimmed to 8 points. 8 minutes gone in the final term. And that's with 8 lead changes. Fremantle 15-4-94. Melbourne 13-8-86. Saturday footy on ABC Sport with Rama and Bawley.
They just had to find a goal today, Rama. The scoring's dried up a bit. The run and gun style. Fremantle have been able to stiffen up behind the ball. And it just took that little bit of a risk to come back inboard like we spoke about across half back. And that opened up the whole open side, fat side of the ground to Langford, who had the initial shot. And then, you're right, he's just able, he hasn't had too many opportunities like that, Petty, where he's had separation from Cox. Good run and jump and nice finish. Again, back to the centre bounce. Becomes so critical, doesn't it? Late in quarters, late in games.
Back in the middle, Jackson taps it down to himself, tackled by Gordon, just gets a kick away. Dribbles the metre, Young picks it up, kicks up to half forward. Frederick can't mark. Rivers wins it at ground level. Handball goes back to Young though. Dockers ball. Out to Frederick. Now Bolton half forward. Chips inside 50. Dudley slides into mark. Very low down. 40 metres out. And the smallest man on the ground will go back with a big kick in the context of this game.
Centre bounce clearance again. Wasn't clean, was it? But Jackson won it. And they just surged forward from there, didn't they? That's right. Young involved. Shea Bolton. Lovely little kick to Dudley. Has he got the journey? Probably take his best.
We're close to right on his range. Boot the ball from 48. The drop punt is just missing left. Searching for the extra distance. Fremantle by 9. 9 minutes played, fourth term.
He's one of my favourite demons, Jake Bowie. The kick-out duties, a diminutive defender. A long kick up to the wing. Intercept mark for O'Driscoll. And bowled over. Petty came and put a body on him. We've talked about the fact he's been on edge today, Harrison Petty. And Fremantle let him know about it. O'Driscoll will be marched to about 25 out, and that is costly.
She wasn't there.
He wasn't in the marking contest. That's what Ray will tell us. It's a clean mark, uncontested mark. So
probably didn't need it.
No, he
really.
didn't. No.
Is it in the margins, Ray?
No, you've nailed it, guys. He's not in the contest and he puts him on the ground. That's delay of play and that's 50 metres. It's poor.
Yeah.
And for Harrison Petty, putting the body on the act of aggression, all he can do is watch. O'Driscoll drives it through. What a gift for the Dockers. And it's a 15-point ball game. Freo cracked the ton at the G, 16-5, 101. Melbourne 13-8-86, 11 gone in the final term. Saturday footy on ABC Sport.
The reality is, Petty should have been there. The kick was long. He just couldn't get off his direct opponent in Brennan Cox, and then tries to cause a little bit of physicality after it. Just wasn't necessary.
That's fitting.
Yeah, wasn't necessary, just costly. Now Melbourne are at the point where they're probably going to go and work out, well, who's our most likely to kick goals here? Put them in the most dangerous spots, isolate. Like Matty Jefferson's not that. He's deep forward at the moment. He's not that. Get someone else down there.
Gone down to Sparrow, hurries a kick up to half forward. Salem's onto it, handball, a turnover. There's a whistle anyway. Free kick, Fridge. Fremantle have kicked 5 of the last 6 goals of the game. Free kick to the D, centre half forward. Great day at the MCG. Fritsch Moves it out wide for Lever. Lever can look inside 50. Looking for Petty, trying to make amends. Juggling, not marking. Erasmus breaks it up, follows up, runs beyond the defensive arc. He's tackled by Petty and driven into the turf as he gathers just beyond the...
He's lucky.
He's so lucky.
This free kick there, he's got to be careful, Harrison Petty.
From the stoppage, comes down to Murphy Reid. Hurry kick forward. Lever takes the intercept mark. Gives a handball away to Bowie against the boundary line. Turns and thumps it inside the forward 50. Jackson leaps up. In the end, it was Warner with the spoil. Falls down to Laurie. Gives a hand pass out to Chandler. 45 from home against the boundary. Centering kick. Cozzy marks 15 out at full forward.
Harrison Petty's trying to show aggression today. That's not his game.
No. And he looks distracted, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like it's probably led to more errors than it has.
It has, definitely has.
Yeah. Positive things for Melbourne.
Great kick by Kate Chandler there.
Yeah.
Opposite foot, right boundary.
All central.
Squares it up.
Yeah. Right.
Pickett trots in to get that goal back. He knocks it through. And the Demons stay in the fight. Pickett's got a couple. Fremantle by 9 points. Plenty of time left in this game. 13 gone final term. Fremantle 16-5-101. Melbourne 14-8-92.
I mean, he's probably been Melbourne's best player across the day, Rand, but is it going to be enough? Can he find a special 5 or 8 minute burst here and really get them close enough to make Freo panic? He's going to go into the centre bounce, get your good players in the middle of the ground. It's really going to be Gawn and Pickett, isn't it?
Yeah.
To give them any chance to win this game. Plenty of time left. What have they got in the legs still?
I think we're on track for a 13th game this season where both teams score 100 points as well. As Sarong goes out of the middle for the Dockers. Left foot kick low and right onto the chest of Lever. Defensively marks for the D's. Fremantle by 9. Lever's kick risky, but it works out for Cozzy, who's away down the ward wing. Takes a bounce on his jinking run. Now shorts it, trying to get it to Laurie. McVee's right there with him. Commits an infraction. Free kick going the way of Bailey Laurie and the D's.
Laurie spears the kick to Big Max.
I don't mind Max from this distance.
Gawn's got it.
Yeah, they're telling him too.
He puts the slipper right into it when he's 50 out.
He's right on the 50, in fact, probably just beyond it. Mason Cox on the mark.
Because he's coming off now, so he'll get a little break here. We're right at the 10-minute mark remaining in this game.
How about that for a roar for Cozzy Pickett? The crowd is so involved. Over 40,000 in. My man Frank all over that with his estimation.
Well, I'll wait for the crowd if he can somehow drain this one, Big Max.
Max loads up, dragging that back right leg as he gives it a thump now right to the goal. Oh! Petty! Petty with the pack mark in the goal square.
Oh, this will be interesting what he does after this. He kicks the goal here. What's the reaction?
Can't miss from there. We got a one-score game. Petty pumps up the crowd at the Pond Road end. He's got 3, and Fremantle's lead is just 3 points. 16-5-101. Melbourne coming. 15-8-98. 16 gone in the final term. This is all unfolding on Saturday on ABC.
Balling wide, Mason Cox will be on the mark. 52 metres out. When he's a ruckman, he should be in the goal square. He should be there. Half forward should have come up and taken the mark. Mason Cox get in the goal square to have another big body to try and kill that ball. Harrison Petty, big, strong, contested mark.
Great mark, isn't it? He had Tracy down there as well, so bit of a lapse from the Freo defenders.
When you're on the mark is if you're the bloke who's got to stand, you can't retreat. Another news, Shea Bolton, left quad, heavily strapped.
Well, that's a concern for the Dockers. Gawn taking it out of the ruck, hurries a kick and giving away a free kick of his own, Windsor. So Warner has it at centre-half back. Fremantle by 3 points. Last 2 goals of the game going the way of the Demons. 3 of the last 4 after Fremantle got out by 15 points.
We discussed that last week, Ray. That's what I'm getting at. It shouldn't be the umpire's decision who stands the mark.
No, absolutely, Rammer, but if there's only one player there, there's no choice, is there? Or if your teammates roll off, leave you standing, you can't move.
Young works it down the wing for Fremantle, gets it to Chapman, driving kick into the pocket. Tracy goes up, Dudley roves, dribbles it through. Get on Dudley from the pocket. He's got a couple. And Fremantle have some breathing space again. 17-5, 107 plays 15-8, 98. 17 minutes into the fourth.
It's a sign of a good team, isn't it? When they can just respond. Again, Tracy, big contest.
It's great crumbing.
Great crumbing. Interesting.
Jake Bowie was there.
How well did you read that?
Left him. Just that last moment, Bowie got caught ball watching rather than right with his direct opponent there. Just dropped it in his hands, Paulie.
He's smart forward, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, that time he ran to the back of the contest, and lo and behold, the ball fell in his lap. So, good response. Can the D's respond again?
Back in the middle, it's Jackson and Gawn. The Rucks miss it. Jackson wins it at ground level, gives it to Sarong. Kicks to full forward, punched away by the D's. Nice work from Tom McDonald. Bowie hands it back to Rivers. Long kick to the wing, Langford again. Wins a one-on-one overhead with Erasmus. Kicks inside to Windsor. 9-point lead for the Dockers. With 17 minutes into the last. Dangerous kick. Big heavy collision. Fremantle win the footy. Steele hits the deck. Dudley away to Bolton. Down the wing to Warner. Hand pass out wide for Tracy. Tracy kicks to full forward. Mason's down there trying to draw the free. No whistle. Frederick collects in the pocket. Frederick! Misses. 10-point game. Fremantle by 10. 19 gone final term.
Big Coxie, a big stiff there.
No.
Went down too easily.
Fell over.
He sold it.
Rivers kicks long in the middle of the ground. Brayshaw's caught in possession after roving. Free kick. Salem's pinged him. The D's look to go forward again. Kicks inside 50. Up they go. Van Rooyen hands to it. Doesn't take the mark. Cossie's come on the ground. Roves it. Sends it deep. One-on-one down there. O'Driscoll and Langdon. Sharp coming through. Knuckles it through. Harry Sharp. Cristiano Ronaldo. Eat your heart out. Threw a boot at it, put it through two Dockers and through the two big sticks. Lead back to 4 for Fremantle. 17-6, 108, play 16-8, 104.
What this Sunday? Why is Harry Sharp the sweet Caroline there?
Oh, that's
what
incredible.
A goal. What a goal. That is a soccer special. He's a serious player, Harry Sharp, isn't he? Good contest. The wingman pushing forward. Goal for goal at the G. What a game, man.
Great game by Harvey.
Yeah, it was.
Pure one-on-one contested mark that just, it couldn't allow that to go out of bounds.
It's Range Rover time, Corby. It's Range Rover time.
It is. Get out the cheese platter. The game's on the line as Max Gawn grabs it out of the ruck. Hand pass away to Salem. Melbourne win it at the coalface. To Cozzy. To Fitzgerald. Kicks to full forward. Play on. And he goes down. Gives it to Fritsch. The Demons are in front. The lead changes again for a 9th time. 15 down earlier in the quarter. Melbourne have kicked 4 of the last 5 goals. And the Demons lead it by 2 as we tick into time on in the final term. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Melbourne 17-8. Fremantle 17-6.
That was a great kick by Fitzgerald. Cox had to hold on, so he gave the free kick away. They took the advantage. Bailey Fritz, it was terrific by Max Gawn in that set of bounce. He's able to jump, take Jackson with him, give the little handball, and then go from there. Way too early to try save the game, Demons.
Yeah, plenty of time.
Plenty of time. We've still got 7 minutes remaining
How
in
critical
this
was
game.
the bounces, aren't they? Gawn and Jackson.
Jackson down, Cozzy Pickett wrapped up. And get a free kick in the middle.
Gawn and Jackson. Bolton v Pickett.
Cozzy drives it deep. Inside 50 again, the Demons. Penny hands to it, doesn't mark. Fritsch roves, runs a little arc, snaps, do it No dice. Melbourne by 4 points, 22 minutes into the fourth.
I've got that as 4 posters, by the way, for Melbourne today. A 3-point lead, 22 minutes gone, final term.
Well, let's see who's got the courage to run now from Freo. Or ball kick.
Brendan Cox turns it over off the back flank, straight to Langdon.
Yeah, it's courage with ball movement now.
Yep.
Really, both teams.
Langdon with the footy, puts Melbourne back inside 50. To centre half forward, Oscar McDonald spoils it away. Down to Chapman. Chapman off the back flank for Freo. He gives it to Brayshaw. Kicks down the wing looking for Voss. Over the head of his intended target. Melbourne win it back through Tolstrup. Demons by 3 points. Tolstrup long to half forward. Out the back of the pack. D's are on. Van Rooyen. Gorgeous trapping at Ryan, able to hold it in. Pack forms behind him. Laurie grabs it. They've all got him. And a ball up, 40 out from the Melbourne goal. Still the better part of 6 minutes to play. Melbourne by 3.
Jackson palming it down, gets it off to Clark. He's under the pump as he squeezes out a kick. Brayshaw runs onto it, gets the handball away. Sharp goes and gathers for the Demons. High half forward, kicks inside 50. Getting up, Petty! Not paid the mark.
Paid it.
Comes down at ground level, he is paid the mark. There was a little bit of time before the whistle, but Petty will get it. And what a moment this is. It has gone pear-shaped for the Dockers.
Hasn't it?
After they led by 15 points, 11 minutes into the fourth term.
That was after Petty gave away that fifth.
Yeah.
We said at that time, his whole aggression hasn't worked for him. He's had an impact.
Well, he's had an up and down day, but this will be his fourth.
Harry Petty. There was so much of this story coming out of the earlier meeting in the season. Skips in and misses right. Oh, the door stays open. 24 minutes into the fourth, Melbourne lead by 4 points. 17-10 plays 17-6.
Well, let's see how Freo go. They haven't been in this situation, have they, for a while? And they're likely to be between now and grand final day. So opportunity here.
Ryan Long up the middle. Jackson whacks it on to Switkowski. Freo keep it through the middle of the G. Handball to Brayshaw. Kicks wide to the wing. O'Driscoll marks. Voss presenting. Voss doubles back. The kick sat on his head out at half forward. Voss has got it. Lever had plenty of time to know it was coming in that direction. And Voss just beat him hands down.
He did. It was a shank, wasn't it, from O'Driscoll? Not where it was intended to go. He had Amos deeper, one-on-one, but Voss read the flight of the ball better. It's all set up for him here, isn't it, Rammer? Tough kick.
This could be an incredible celebration if he hits it.
He'll wheel around, open up the angle.
He's wide out at left half forward, right on the junction of the 50 and the boundary line. His team down by 4 points. Time on, final term at the G. The man they call the prancing pony shoots goalward. It's punch shoot from behind.
There's a difference. Big Max is on the goal line call.
Gone with the spoil and the rush behind. It is a 3-point game, which takes the draw out of the picture. 25 and a half gone, final term. Melbourne by 3.
Bowie taking the kick in. Wants to go to the southern side of the ground. Petty's there, hands to it. Sharp coming through. Roves it, but taken back by Warner. Gives it to Bolton. Kicks the Dockers inside 50. Marking contest. Punched away cleverly, and Langford at the fall gives it to Turner. His hurry kick slews off the side of the boot, and Cox punches it into the stands. Throwing 80 around from the Dockers attacking goal at the city end of the ground. Melbourne by 3, 26 into the fourth.
One of only 2 MCG games this year for the Dockers. To win the flag, you got to win here. Melbourne have done that all season long. A 3-point advantage for the D's. Waning moments. Boundary throw-in. Johnson for the Dockers. Handball to Clark. Handball away to Ryan. Kicks a high drop punt inside the forward 50. Knocked down by Jaff. Ball spills to Brayshaw. Trying to hold off Pickett. Somehow got a kick away to Bolton. Marks on the 50. Not the required range. Told to keep it moving. Steele for the Demons. Wins it back. Gives it to Jaff. Tackle dispossessed. 70 out from the Dockers goal. Fitzgerald throws his head back. No free kick and a ball up. Good umpiring. 60 metres out from Fremantle's goal at right half forward. Melbourne by 3. 26 and a half gone, final turn.
Gawn slaps it down. Johnson bursting onto the footy. Handball for Brayshaw straight through his hands. Allows in Chandler. Melbourne back with it. Gets it off to Steele, who gives it to Fitzgerald. Kicks to a contest on the wing. No marker. Comes down in front. Johnson's there. Stripped. Caught. Langford's got him.
Too slow.
Holding the ball.
Yeah, plenty of time, Johnson, to make a decision there. He had options left and right. Terrific tackle, Harvey Langford.
He's been a little bit indecisive today. Matty Johnson. Melbourne by 3. Still time aplenty for the Dockers if they're good enough.
Down the line. Stay skinny here.
27 minutes into the 4th.
Harvey Langford with the contest kick. Brennan Cox punches it away. Melbourne by 3, close to the boundary line. Brayshaw waits for the tackle, grabs it. Handball away to Clark. Hand pass for Sarong. Kept it alive. Kick finds Johnson. Right on the wing.
Big play.
Kicks corridor. Finds Young. Daring kicks good. Young for Freo can put them inside 50. High up and under. Tracy leaping at it. In the end, forced to spoil. Brings it to ground. Melbourne win it. Back pocket through Jaff. And Jaff can kick hurriedly up to the wing. Sharp the target, but he's outnumbered. Sharp's got 2 to beat. He's tackled without it. Yeah. He's tackled without it. Warner dragged him down. Sharp gets the footy on the southern wing. 28 minutes gone, Melbourne by 3.
And time becoming a problem for the Dockers. Sharp moves it on to Bowie.
Oh, over to Langford, yeah.
He'll just chip it over the top to Langdon.
Langdon, sorry.
He marks 55 out, and they can see a little bit of sand slip through the hourglass.
Minute 30 remaining, Betty.
He'll set it up towards full forward marking contest. Oh, Jackson nearly marks it. Gawn takes him. It comes to Johnson. Clears for the Dockers up to the wing. Big contest. Lever and also Swikowski trying to help out Paddy Voss, but Lever goes and wins it for Melbourne.
Lever puts it back inside 50 for the D's. Fritsch flies, no mark, and in the end it's punched close to the boundary line. It doesn't go out. Fritsch at half forward. Hand pass back inside 50. Sharp's got it. Tackled by Frederick. Ball up.
All right. The 1 minute drill. Yeah. Melbourne have got it where they want it. What can the Dockers do? Who's got some run in their legs?
They need 2 restarts here, Melbourne.
Yeah, Petty goes behind the ball.
Gawn wins the hit out, straight to Frederick Dull, the Dockers. Kick can't clear 50, it's smothered. Ricochets to Sarong. Langdon locks him up. And another stoppage. 45 out from Melbourne's goal. Up against the boundary line, it is Melbourne by 3 points.
Well, Brendan Cox has gone forward. Free kick, here they go, out the other side.
So Sarong will switch it to Clark. He drops the mark, and that sets them back. He has to go and retrieve it. Now he bites off the kick for Johnson. He drops the mark. They are fumbling it at the worst possible moment, the Dockers. Picked up by Van Rooyen. Off to Sparrow. Pokes it to the pocket. Out of bounds. No!
That was out the full.
Oh, no, I didn't think it was.
Was it?
It was close.
I didn't think it was.
Fritsch has taken it in the pocket.
He'll be able to run the clock down. They had their chance, the Dockers. They didn't want it. Two just sit
Johnson.
Just absolute
2 mistakes late. Johnson.
The Demons shore up their spot in the top 6. And if the Dockers get back here, there'll be some Demons to deal with. As Bailey Fritsch puts a little cherry on top. Melbourne win by 4 points. And the Dockers suffer just their 3rd defeat of the season. And they'll have to win here on grand final day if they're good enough. 17-11-113 plays 17-7-109.
It's the emblem of the team we love, the team of the red and the blue. Every heart beats true for the red and the blue, and we sing this song to you. Should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the red and the blue.
It's a contender for Game of the Year. Melbourne win by 4 points, 9 lead changes, 6 in the first half, 3 in the second half. Fremantle led by 15 points, 11 minutes into the 4th. The D's came storming back. They kicked 4 of the last 5 goals of the game to win by 4 points, as I said. 17-11-113, plays 17-7-109. The Dockers haven't yet won the minor premiership. If Sydney win out and Fremantle lose out and percentage swings, Sydney can still finish top. But Melbourne, they're the story. They're in the 6 and it's solidified.
It's the emblem of the team we love, team of the red and the blue. Every heart beats true for the red and the blue, and we sing this song to you. Should all acquaintance people watch, keep your eye on the red and the blue.
Scores level at quarter time. Fremantle by 3 at half time. Fremantle by 8 at three-quarter time. And Melbourne in the finish, kicking 4 of the last 5 goals to win by 4 points. But the same thought, it was the game of the round coming into the day, and it's one of the games of the season coming out of the day. A 4-point victory for Melbourne, a match with 9 lead changes. The goal kickers, 3 for Laurie, 3 for Sharp, 3 for Petty, and then 2 each for Fritsch, for Sparrow, and for Cozzy Pickett, and then singles for Bowie and for Chandler. Meanwhile, for Fremantle, Amos kicked 5. He went past 50 in the season. Likewise, Josh Tracy, who ended up with 2. Paddy Voss kicked 4. So you look at that as a combination of 11 between them. 2 for Dudley, 1 for Bolton, 1 for O'Driscoll, and 1 for Switkowski. A tremendous game of footy. 9 lead changes. Melbourne by 4 points. And top 6, top 4 ambitions still alive. And for the Dockers, their minor premiership celebration will have to wait. Saturday footy on ABC Sport. It's just beginning. Sydney, Port Adelaide coming up next for those of you in SA. For everybody else, you will be getting the Geelong and Essendon game. If you're in the ACT, you've got NRL action coming up, as is customary. Storm and Sea Eagles, your next stop. How about it, Luke Ball, Adam Damascus? What a day for the Deeds.
What a treat. Saturday armour at the G, Corby. What a terrific game of footy. A few of the callers summed it up too. Real finals-like atmosphere. And as we said, Melbourne supporters came along in good numbers today, seeing how their team, who's taken all before them really this year, would stack up here at the home ground they play so well at against the top team in the competition. And right from early on, they showed that they were up for the fight. And, I mean, in the end, they have 10 more scoring shots, and they really are deserved winners. It was a game of momentum, wasn't it? They strung goals together at times, and then Freo just looked like they had the answers all the way through. But when you look down at the numbers, the Dockers just had too many players well below their best, and probably that's the difference in the game with Cozzy Pickett, who I think is probably clearly best on ground, and then other players stepping up and taking their moments. But the damage was done, from halfway through that first quarter. Melbourne really dominated around the contest, so plus 23, or was it 25 contested footy. They're really, really good numbers against the top team in the competition, and as an audition rammer for finals footy, we know that's how you have to play, how you have to win it. And, Melbourne supporters, they got the crowd involved, didn't they, at times? And as I said, I think they thoroughly deserved their win today.
Well, if Fremantle were coming here as a full dress rehearsal for a final, they've failed it, because I don't think you can lose contested football at a plus 25 or 28 margin or whatever it was and expect to win finals football. Simply, Melbourne were at the contest for longer in this game. Now, okay, the lead seesawed throughout the game, but the tough moments, Melbourne were able to win. Now, I thought the critical moment where right in front of us on the wing, Johnson was out, could have given the handball. Langford lunges, dives to tackle. Johnson again, I'm sorry to use him twice as an example, drops an easy mark when they had a chance to have one more shot at taking the ball forward. So, little things throughout the day, I think Justin Longmuir will look at and go, okay, we need to clean up that. Sarong, 21 possessions. Brayshaw, 20. It's probably their lowest
numbers. An ordinary day, Brayshaw. Just unusual, wasn't he? He was fumbly.
Hayden Young, 19, looked injured. Didn't look like he could really get up to full speed. Murphy Reid, Tolstrop did a really good job on him a lot of the day. I thought his impact was absolutely minimal. Bolton, Pickett certainly had the better of that matchup, particularly when they were in the middle of the ground. Paddy Voss, he kicks his 4, looks good. Jai Amos kicks 5. You're not getting much out of Frederick. You need his run and carry, those guys. Then you flip it over. Melbourne, incredible. Pickett, 27 possessions, 13 score involvements, 2 goals. Jake Bowie's had a big game. Sparrow's had a big game. Tolstrop, I mentioned, with Murphy Reid. So Terrific performances by the D's, Cobb.
What a result. Melbourne by 4 points over Fremantle coming from behind. For our audience in South Australia, you're off to the Sydney Swans and Port Adelaide as round 22 Saturday footy rolls on. And for everybody else, we'll carry on here at the G and picking this apart. What a win today for Melbourne. So kicked 4 of the last 5 goals after being 15 down in the final term to win it by 4.
And just to continue on that, so Fremantle plus 27 in uncontested possessions, plus 11 in clearance. So numbers favouring them, but Melbourne 56 inside 50s to 51, took their opportunity. And you look at Melbourne's goal kickers in this game, you didn't get much out of Jefferson at all. You didn't get much out of Van Rooyen at all, but you get
Petty
3 out of Sharp, 3 out of Laurie. You get 2 goals, 5 out of Bailey Fritsch. Petty comes good later in the game. You get a couple out of Sparrow. You get a couple out of Pickett. So, it was winning by committee almost.
Yep.
They had more contributors, I thought, today to D's.
That's right. Ultimately, that's it. At the end of the day, too much left to too few, and too many players just nowhere near their best today from Fremantle's point of view. In and out of the game for a lot of them. Bolton and Reid and Young, as you mentioned, Sarong, Clark and Johnson, but more even contribution from Melbourne across the board, not just with possession, but just with moments and efforts and, winning key 50-50s or just getting a hand in and spoiling. So, great contest. I don't think... certainly, obviously not panic stations for the Dockers. They get the experience here in front of a pretty hostile crowd at times, so they'll go and lick their wounds and head back home. But all credit and all plaudits to the winners today, the Demons, who keep their top 4 hopes alive.
It's a great call out, Bally. They absolutely do. So on the live ladder, as it currently stands, they find themselves in fifth position on the ladder, but importantly, they get to 14 wins. It means they're one of the clubs, if they win out, with games to come against Port Adelaide and the Western Bulldogs, the Demons can be a 16-win team. Geelong can't get to 16 wins, so that's worth keeping in mind. So it's a blow for the Cats, who come up next against Essendon. The Cats have that soft run home, but if Melbourne win their last 2 games, Geelong can't get them. So it keeps them in a battle with Adelaide and the Brisbane Lions to try and claim that last spot, and Hawthorn still with a little bit to do yet. They got the half game, the Hawks, that they obviously lost last night, 2 to play, which it means that they should be safe. Hawthorn for their top 4 finish. It means Melbourne's in the race along with the Lions and the Crows for a top 4 finish. All right.
Won't hurt the Dockers. It won't hurt them.
Well,
there's plenty to work on still.
I think
but a loss won't hurt.
I think Ben's call right at the end there, if they come back to the MCG in September, there could be a couple of little demons. So, Ben's right. You've got to win here to win a premiership. You must win at the MCG.
Yeah. Well, it was starting to get to the point where, you looked at Fremantle and you thought, if they got any vulnerabilities whatsoever, see if we can pick some of this up. The D's from...
I'll sing it loud.
They might pump it through the big screen, so we'll be able to bring it to you here at the G. The Demons by 4 points. We'll come back to that and what it means for the Dockers on the other side of this. A 4-point win for Melbourne. For most of you, off to Kardinia Park next. Pretty happy bunch down there. We will hopefully bring you some reaction from the Melbourne rooms coming up shortly, but the D's coming from behind, 15 down in that final term, kicking 4 of the last 5 goals to win. It was starting, you looked at Fremantle as an 18-2 team. They win today, they got a 19-2. So they dropped that game, but you can imagine the conversation had the result gone the other way today. We would have been thinking, this team... There's no vulnerabilities, that they haven't lost all year at home and they can win at the G, and so it would keep that question at bay. You can't say that now, and unfortunately for Fremantle, they don't get to answer the MCG question again until grand final day.
The vulnerability to me for Fremantle is if their stars through the midfield are down. And that's where they were down today. We mentioned Sarong, Brayshaw, Young, Breed. Those guys, if they can be kept under control, you're not going to stop them. You're never going to completely stop them, but if you can keep them under control and you can win the contested footy stat, it'll go a long way to beating Fremantle.
I agree, because the depth's not there. Like the B teams, you want to call it. So you think about Brisbane, they run deep through the middle, don't they? Hawks are starting to build a bit. If you can control Sarong, Brayshaw and Young, who's still got to get his body under control. Bolton had his moments in there. Reed did as well.
The next lot is Erasmus and Johnson.
Yeah, and they're not established players yet.
Really
hard workers. That's right. So you're right. That's potentially where they have shown a bit of a vulnerability. And we also mentioned, in their defence, those sort of smaller, even mid-sized forwards. I mean, Fritsch could have had a big day today. He was the one that we highlighted. He kicks 2 goals, 5, has 9.
You called that to start.
Has 9 score involvements. Sharp, smaller player. Bailey Laurie, smaller player. I just thought, Warner looked a bit fumbly today at times, and the other backs as well. So, as I said, I don't think it hurts them long term. A loss, they have to go back now and say, okay, we've got plenty to work on still.
Crows to come for Fremantle next week, so we'll see how they go there in that Friday night showdown. Let's go celebrate with the winners, though. Melbourne by 4 points to Ray Chamberlain in the rooms. Razor.
Thanks very much, Corb. We're down here with one of the real men of the moment, Harrison Petty. Harrison, congratulations today on the victory. 14th for the season against a side with genuine aspirations. Real formidable opponent. What are your initial thoughts, mate?
Oh, it's an unbelievable win by the boys. We knew it was going to be a tough-fought match. They've been the best team all year. So, but I suppose we got touched up in round 2, and it was good to get one back. But we knew if we played our way, anything could happen. So, yeah, just proud of the boys.
From the outside looking in, it was a really entertaining game to watch. Hangers, big marks, a little bit of push and shove, 100 points aside, 2-hour battle. They headed you up, you fought back, MCG. It kind of sounds to me like that's what's on the order if you want to win the whole thing in September. Give us your thoughts. Have you got any aspirations or sights on September now that you've locked away win number 14?
Oh, definitely. We knew if we played our brand of footy, we could beat anyone. So, we haven't got too far to September yet. We've still got 2 more games to get through, and hopefully we can get a few more wins than that. But look, today's match was going to be huge. So, just happy we come away with the chocolates, and it was good.
Last question from me before I throw upstairs. I've watched you guys play against Brisbane, against Hawthorn, against Geelong, again here today against Fremantle. All sides that would walk around their local community with the chest out thinking they're going to get the thing done. And they've headed you up at different times, and this side just keeps fighting back. Tell us a little bit about the belief that's within the group.
Yeah, you have to have belief to play AFL footy, I reckon. I suppose if we knew we've trained all pre-season, we've played all year, if we play our brand of footy, we can beat anyone. And that's the belief Kingy's driving within us. We play a brutal game of footy, we try and play with a bit of flair, bit of a fast. I suppose previous years we haven't sort of done that, and this year it's changed a bit. And as forwards, we're really reaping the repercussions of that sort of thing. So it's exciting, Brand, and we hope we can pop out the MCG on a Saturday arvo again, and it'd be great.
Gents. Harry, where did you come up with the head rub celebration, and when did you decide to do it?
No, it was just sort of in the moment. It was just a little cheeky dig. No hard feelings or anything like that. But it was all fun and games in the end.
Harry, what were your emotions when you gave away that 50-metre penalty?
Oh, I was disappointed in myself.
But what do you say to yourself in that moment? So the ball comes down next time, you then take a contested mark in the goal square. Some guys go into their shell in those moments. Others want to embrace the moment.
Yeah, I sort of had to get one back, I guess. It was a stupid free kick by me, but I was glad I was able to get one back and take a few marks late in the game. It was good.
Harry, I mean this respectfully, but it did look like you played a little bit angry today. You said no hard feelings, but it looked like there was something in the game for you to get one back over Freo and Paddy Voss.
Oh, I feel like I play on the edge a bit in games. I feel like that brings me into the game. It works for some, it doesn't work for others, but I feel like that's when I'm on edge, I'm at my best. So if I can bring that, it might spark someone else to sort of play their best way too. If I'm doing all that, so I've always got a bit of a cheeky side and a bit of brutality about me, but I feel like I play my best when I'm doing that.
Harry, it's Corbin Middlemass here. It feels like you've been playing with house money for much of the year. I mean, people had low expectations of the Demons year one under a new coach, obviously, and Stephen King. You were there and part of the premiership success, of course, in 2021. Are you even surprised that this is, a 14-win team after round 22, and with 2 weeks to go in the home and away season, you're well and truly in the top 4 mix?
Yeah, I think we're a little bit surprised earlier in the year, but I feel like now we know what we can do. We know we can beat the good teams. I feel like, as I said before, if we bring our brand of footy, anything can happen, and we can beat any team on the good day.
Can you win it?
I think we can. Feel like you got to have the belief to do it. So I seriously think we can. If we bring the brand, it can happen.
Harry, congratulations. Phenomenal day. Just a great game. One of the games of the season, and the D's on the right side of it, pulling it out the fire with 4 of the last 5 goals. Appreciate your time and well done on the year so far.
Too easy. Thanks, lads.
Harrison Petty with Ray Chamberlain down there in the D's rooms.
Too high scoring for Mick today. Corby, I agree. One of the games of the season, but
number 13 this year, by the way.
2 games over 100.
Both teams scoring 100 points. It happened 5 times all of last season.
That's right. They had everything today, though. High marks. Physical contest, wasn't it? Pressure was up. Yeah, that's right. He was good, Langford. Yeah, it was a beauty.
You couldn't come to the footy today and leave and think, I didn't get anything
happy.
I would
Very
like
happy.
to have seen.
You're happy to pay for a ticket today to watch that game.
Even
great
you,
goals.
Even me. hang on.
No roof. Saturday afternoon, no roof.
Amazing, isn't it? The atmosphere when there's just a clear sky out there. And
Harvey Langford took a Mark of the Year contender. It's fair to say Cozzy Pickett will be on the goal of the week contention for his trapping the footy and then bouncing back to his
Harry
feet.
Sharp's goal.
Harry Sharp.
That was terrific late.
It was a fun game of footy. Just come back to the Dockers before we do the votes and get out of here. We're on air for another 8 minutes or so after what was a sensational game of footy here at the MCG. Melbourne 1-13 defeating the Dockers 109, so a 4-point victory margin for the D's. So Fremantle, they're going to get every advantage from here. That you'd think they'll still finish on top of the ladder.
Yep.
The remaining 2 games for the Dockers, they play
Adelaide and Carlton. They're back here at Marvel, but they've got to come back to Melbourne.
Yep, which they're not in the wildcard mix, so they're not one of the teams of concern about how many bodies they take and who they rest and all the rest of it.
Yeah,
they will get a rest anyway on wildcard weekend and then get set for a qualifying final.
My belief is they've played so well throughout the year. And we saw this with Collingwood last year. They played so well early, nearly right up until around 14, 15, I reckon they were.
Yep.
And then they just tailed away a little bit.
Freo have been better later.
I know, but I'm just saying they don't want to tail away these last 2 games either. You want to go into a final series supremely confident of what you're doing.
So they're pretty settled, and we know how healthy they are. So the decisions they've got to make, is it Cox over Darcy, I think, and that's probably what they've got the next two weeks to decide. Pierce is the other one, so we didn't talk about that at all today. So he goes out of the team. Cox comes up here. But you think about late in the game, Alex Pearce's impact on the team. I don't think Harrison Petty takes that mark in the goal square. For instance, if Alex Pearce is down there. So he's been significant in terms of his both his ability to defend, but also his leadership behind the footy. So we didn't mention that today, but that's something that they'll obviously benefit from coming back into the team.
And I know Ray explained it with Mason Cox on the mark when Max Gorn was kicking for goal. But Mason Cox, as a ruckman, the coach is telling you, you've got to be in the goal. So you're our biggest player on the ground. You're 220 centimetres or however tall he is. He should be able to, if Max is having a shot at goal and he's signalled that, if someone else wants to come and take that mark, they can come and take it. Mason Cox can just go backwards. I'm a firm believer in the umpire should not be making a decision who stands on the mark.
So you're saying as long as someone replaces... What if Mason just goes before the guy comes and replaces him?
No, that would be 50, I think Rama's saying.
No, but if the umpire has not said, Mason, you must hold, he can go.
But I think he clearly did say, Mason, you hold. He was the only guy on the...
Yeah, but that's what I'm getting at. So then Max has taken 30 seconds or whatever he's taken to set up for a shot at goal. If Fremantle want to replace Mason Cox on the mark, they should be able to replace Mason Cox on the mark.
So you're saying if Fremantle want to say, hey, come and you stand where Mason's standing? Yep. But Mason can't just make the decision himself and leave.
But this is what I'm getting at. Why not?
Because
I know that. I get the rule, and I love the stand rule. Yep. I get it, right? But the umpire shouldn't be having the influence and the decision on who stands the mark.
So the reason why that exists is because otherwise everybody runs away and no one stands. And so it's if you're in the vicinity, you're the guy that must.
I just feel like, and he wasn't quite inside 50, but I feel like the rule should soften inside your defensive 50.
You're making this so hard for the umpire.
No, I'm not. Because when people are having a shot for goal, you should be able to do whatever you want, like to the rule on the mark.
But the reason we've got the radius in the vicinity is to try and make it easier for the umpire to say, right, you're in the zone, you're the guy that stands.
No problem. I think inside your defensive 50, the stand rule shouldn't apply.
But Max Gawn was having a shot at goal.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's what we're saying. So why can't?
Yeah.
Why it's not having any impact? If you want to replace Mason Cox on the mark, replace him.
Different to half-back flank.
That's right.
Anyway.
I can understand that. I'm happy to co-sign that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if Mason leaves before the other guy arrives, that's
fair.
not friend.
I agree. Yeah, that's fine.
Umpire, I'm changing. You okay with that? He's having a shot at goal.
Yep. I'm happy.
So you can stand 70 metres out as an offensive player and go, I'm shooting for goal, then kick it to the pocket.
I'm happy with that.
So you're wasting 30 seconds.
0437 774 774, the SMS number. 113 beats 109. Melbourne by 4 points, kicking 4 of the last 5 goals in the game, coming from 15 points behind midway through that final term. What a victory for the Demons. Their top 4 aspirations alive. Meanwhile, for Fremantle, they led by 18 points on 2 separate occasions in the first half. They led by 15 halfway through the final term and couldn't get it done. They're unlikely to play at the G again until Grand Final Day. There is a chance if things go wrong in the final series, they could be back here earlier than that on prelim night. But at this stage, it looks as if the next time we'll see Fremantle here will be the biggest day of them all. Tim in Ardros off the SMS. Hi, gang, agree. Great game, great call. Just a shout out to Ben Cameron's shout out to BC's relative Joey, who has just won the Under-13s Grand Final. Go Riverview.